for every kind of mover. The Sometimer, the early riser, the after-work grinder, the yogi, lifter, bodybuilder, walker, runner, swimmer, spinner, stretcher, rower, climber, jumper, dancer, boxer, sauna seeker, recoverer. Basically, if you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong at InShape. So whether it's your first time or your first time in a while, start the year strong and join today at InShape.com. That's InShape.com. Find a location nearest to you.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days. At Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get behind the wheel of your new Accord or Civic today. Own or lease during Happy Honda Days at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need.
Vitamins including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes. On a Monday, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Kyle Ledbetter is back in the building, looking like Justin Bieber. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait to get into the show today. You couldn't tell from Crosstalk, I have a lot to say today because we are recapping everything that happened. Feels like it was a lot longer than the however many days, 2 days that we actually had off because it led right into the weekend. So there is literally things all across the sports world to talk about. And yes, we're going to talk about your Sacramento Kings, but how can you kick off a show with the Sacramento Kings when Brock Purdy went Brockstar in the best way possible? I mean, to do it on that stage, to do it against and the juxtaposition with the first overall pick, and then Brock, obviously, the last pick of the draft, mystery relevant. The play where he scoots up and finds Juszczyk. I mean, they were just rolling on all cylinders. And as the saying goes, and this is no disrespect to the Bears, but a Chrysler 300 looks like a Phantom until a Phantom roll up. And look, don't get me wrong. The Niners defense is not a Phantom. I don't know. I'm not going to say any cars because, people got different cars out there. But it ain't a Phantom. But that Niners offense, I have no reason to not believe that that's not the best offense in the NFL right now. Right? You can make an argument for what the Patriots are doing. But the Patriots, one thing about the Patriots is nobody has really talked about enough the fact that the Patriots keep beating bad teams. They actually have a very pedestrian record against 500 or teams over 500. They just had a really favorable schedule. And look, you can only beat who's in front of you. But the Patriots have beat a lot of bad teams. But if you go through the rest of the NFL, what offense are you taking in front of the Niners right now? I mean, Jake Tonjes, he looked like Gronk. They made him look like Gronk. And, it's so funny we do the system thing with Brock Purdy specifically. We never do it with anybody else. But don't you find it peculiar, or I should say just interesting, not peculiar, but, George Kittle. And I'm not calling Jake Tonjes George Kittle. But George Kittle goes out, Tonjes balls out. Right? Brandon Ayuk wants to speed and not necessarily do things you're supposed to do. Kendrick Bourne, just slot right in there. And if it's not Kendrick Bourne, Juwan Jennings, just do what you got to do. The system that Kyle Shanahan has created, it is greater. It is greater than any of these players besides maybe Christian McCaffrey. But let's go back in time. Christian McCaffrey took this team to another level. But we were talking about the Mosterts and guys like that also looked good. The Jeff Wilson Jr., other guys that looked good in this offense. So I've been banging this drum about Kyle Shanahan for Coach of the Year, and I haven't checked the odds yet, but I would hope that he would at least move up a little bit because it is incredible. It's incredible what they're doing. Brock is bringing the Dougie back for some odd reason, and everybody loves it. And then you got DeAndre Swift trying to say no more Dougie. Oh, that was just outstanding. And to everybody out there that loves the Tundra, because we saw this game, right? This is the football weather. It's a slip and slide in Buffalo. It was 13-12, okay? Horrible game aesthetically, horrible game offensively, but that's football weather. You can go somewhere with it. I love a defensive struggle. No, you don't. No, you don't. Last night was fun, man. Last night, I love a good shootout. I love a good shootout. Whoever has the ball last. And in this situation, actually, the Niners did. They bend, but they don't break. Because the Bears did have the ball last, and they couldn't get it done. I just don't understand how Ben Johnson, they're going to bring pressure. You take the timeout, and I thought it was a great call that they ran it was prior to the hook and ladder when there was a play out of bounds, and that kind of messed up what they were trying to do, so they had less time. And I don't know what it was, National Hook and Ladder Day. There was like 4 hook and ladders.
The Bills ran it on fourth down.
Everybody, hey, no, this is the one. And I don't understand how you're Ben Johnson, you take the timeout, they're going to bring pressure. And there was this kind of argument that you had a couple different opportunities that Caleb did miss, right? But the bottom line is, it was just going to be hard for anybody to get open. You knew they were bringing pressure, and that's what you cook up. Like, that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And DJ Moore was the one jumping in the corner. Well, DJ, maybe Caleb didn't see you because nobody knew you were playing. And I know these guys, there was a sick bug going around the building, but DJ Moore is 60 yards away. He doesn't even try to come closer. That's why this receiving thing to me, and this is no slight at DJ Moore, but that's why this receiving thing to me is turning a little bit more into, as defenses get smarter, faster, stronger, all that, it's turning more cerebral than anything else. When you look at Jackson Smith and Jigba, same dimensions as Emeka Egbuka. Same thing, right? They probably run a pretty similar 40s, things like that. I would assume not crazy different. But the way Jackson Smith and Jigba, some of it is scheme, don't get me wrong, but finding the soft spots, Puka is great at that. Some guys just have it. Very similar to rebounding. By the way, Maxime Reynaud, we're going to talk about that because Kyle thinks that he is a farce and a facade. So we're going to talk about Maxime Reynaud today. This is a Kyle special. He said, Allen, I need to talk about this. So we're going to talk about Maxime Reynaud a little later.
This is how we want to start off. I haven't seen you in, 10 days?
Yeah, this is. So
the
what?
Holidays.
So what? Yeah, Christmas is over, by the way. And when you got to take your tree down, right? We still got a tree up now, but I got to break it to little Missy. Hey, buddy. It's coming down.
Well, if it's a real tree, it's whenever they take out your green waste. If it's a fake tree, go as long as you want.
Yeah. Well, no, it is a fake one, but it is coming down. It's coming down.
Can go as long as you want.
No, it can't, though. So, a a lot of different things to break down. But yeah, the DJ Moore thing, he's sitting there jumping for joy in the corner. Brother, move closer to where I get it. If you move any closer, there's a defender, but that ball is not coming to you. That ball is not coming to you. And the Ben Johnson of it all, to have a timeout and that's what you cook up, you know they're going to bring pressure. I just didn't really understand that call. It was the same thing. Was that against before they had the miracle? They've been in this situation a ton. This is why nobody's calling them the Vikings of last season, but that's kind of what they've been.
They kind of are.
They are, right? And you get in. This is the second time now, right? They're just always in a clutch game where Caleb is just running around. You know they're going to bring pressure. How do you cook? I don't even know what the play was.
I mean, it was kind of just thrown together at the end. They went all in on the hook and ladder. The hook and ladder was the winner, and they had to spike it. And then Ben had no timeouts. He was just like, 20 seconds, this play.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was we're trying to get the hook and ladder, and if we don't get it, then we'll spike or just throw it up, I guess.
Throwing in the red zone is so funny to me because it either looks like the easiest thing in the world, a la Jake Tonjes, who's nobody's near him, right? Just nobody in the vicinity. Or it looks like the hardest thing in the world where there's just nobody open. And it just is so funny to me that there aren't everyone should have 3 plays, like when they line up, Kyle. And I guess the difference is when you think a team might be able to run, right? When you know you have to throw, then the defense looks a little bit different. But it's just so funny how it can look like the easiest thing in the world to me or the most difficult thing. You're either wide open or you got to throw a fade route to Mike Evans, which never gets caught. It's just the only 2 options in the red zone, it feels like.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember, on the original hook and ladder, was it 3rd down when they ran it? What down was it at that point? Because they got the really weird situation where they converted the hook and ladder for a first down, but didn't get into the end zone. So, if it was 2nd down, they could have ran that play anyways. What I'm thinking is they just kind of had to throw something together because the play picked up a first down and then they spiked it on 2nd down. But if it was 3rd down that they ran the play on, they couldn't have run another play if the hook and ladder didn't work.
I click on ESPN. The first thing I see is this man doing the damn Dougie. I mean, I cannot get away from the Brock Star doing the Dougie. Then he did a Euro into the Dougie. He's making up new dance moves. And by the way, Kyle, Luther Burden, who was on the ground that play, it ended up being, he got carted off, so people were really worried. Quad injury. I feel like a quad injury you're probably going to be able to come back from at some point. Somebody said, well, I think the reason that he got carted off was just because the game was over.
By the way,
right?
2nd down. So they could have had that play designed anyways.
Yeah.
So it was 2nd down.
So, I mean, I still don't know because everyone keeps saying, right, oh my goodness, this Niners, Salah, he's going to miss out on different coaching opportunities because this defense is absolutely cooked. They're missing Fred Warner, they're missing Nick Bosa, and they're winning. Like, I don't know. They're also missing Mykel Williams, who nobody talks about. Their top pick this season. He's not even playing. So I don't know how you come to that conclusion, right, after watching this team win a game. I understand they give up points. But here's my question, Kyle. Because we already saw them play the Seahawks, and the Seahawks didn't do anything because they never do anything against the Niners. Who is the team in the NFC? You can go through Santa Clara. You never have to leave. You can get home-cooked meal. Brock can go to the Toyota dealership every day if he wants to because they got every home game. You don't got to deal with bad weather, none of that. Who is the team in the NFC? We just saw the Bears, and I thought the Bears played really well. I don't know that the Bears can play better than this. Who is the NFC team when everybody is saying, oh, the Niners, they're going to get torched in the playoffs? Who is that NFC team?
The Rams.
That's the one team who they've already beaten.
Yes, but
they've already beat.
But the Rams then cooked them the second time they played, and even in that first game, the Rams kind of choked it at the end.
They did.
Kyren Williams lost the game on the 1 yard line.
They did. Division game. Kyle Shanahan has a good record against McVay. That's the team I'll give you, but that's still only one, Kyle.
That's the one I feel most confident in, but let me ask you this. So let's say this weekend they lose to the Seahawks, and let's just say the Rams don't choke and they beat the Falcons and they beat the Cardinals.
I bet you Taco Bell that they don't.
Okay, but let's
Crunchwrap.
Let's assume the Rams don't choke.
And I believe Crunchwraps are, I think on New Year's Eve, I think they're only $1.
Oh.
Okay. Continue, though.
Keep that in mind. Okay, so let's play this out. Let's say Seahawks beat them. Even if it's not like, oh, the Seahawks beat them. Let's just say the Seahawks steal the game from the 49ers and the Rams don't choke. The Niners would then be traveling to Philadelphia for their first playoff game. You telling me you feel good?
Yeah.
You feel good about the Niners beating the Eagles?
No, but hold on. It's tough in Philly. I get you. I am with you about the Philly defense, but I'm still not sold on Philly's offense. The Niners have decided when we want to sell out on stopping the run, we'll do that. And, I mean, Diamador Lenore, I think it would be a great matchup because A.J. Brown is more physical, right? Or he's just a physical receiver, but they're not even trying Diamador Lenore. They're not doing it. Now, to be fair, Zacchaeus didn't play. And obviously, Rome Odunze, who we don't know if he's good or not, but he's got a beautiful afro. He didn't play either. But I think the reason nobody's bringing that up is because of all the injuries the Niners have. George Kittle didn't play, and they still got it done. I just don't know that I trust the Eagles' offense, even though this Niners team gives up points and yards. I don't know, man. I just don't trust the Eagles' offense, but I do trust their defense. I do think they'd be able to limit them, but Kyle Shanahan is in his bag right now.
I also did see an insane stat that the Eagles are the first team since the 1987 Patriots to win multiple games without throwing a completed pass in the second half.
Like, the whole thing with the Bills was they couldn't stop the run, right? And I know teams can get better, but that was the whole thing. They're just getting torched. The Eagles come to town, and you can't even run the ball down their throat with Saquon Barkley? You can't do it in the rain?
And new Jason Kelsey and, was it Juergens?
Yeah, and you can't even do it in the rain. So, look, there are definitely teams that can beat the Niners. But am I betting on any of them in the NFC? Absolutely not.
Yeah, my kind of thought on the Niners part of it is they absolutely have to get the 1 seed if they have any chance of going through this playoffs.
And they will. They will.
Because if you get the 1 seed, what they're going to benefit from is A, the home field advantage, and B, some of these really good teams are going to knock each other out, right? Yeah. Like let's say that 49ers win, they get the 1 seed. You would have the Rams playing the Eagles, the two teams that I think are the biggest threat to the 49ers, and you would have the Bears playing the Packers, two teams that I feel like can beat the Niners. So, like, you benefit from that bye, not just from the rest, but also these good teams are going to knock each other out early.
Yeah, anything can happen. I just haven't seen the Seahawks be who they normally are. And even with saying that, the Seahawks offense, I have not, you know how I always joke, Kyle, and I say I haven't seen enter whoever player, Tim Hardaway Jr. make a 3 since before I had facial hair, even though he's supposed to be a 3 shooter. I haven't seen Kenneth Walker have a carry for positive yards since before I was a father. I haven't.
Every time, this is actually a running joke now. Every time they score a touchdown, I'm like, oh, Kenneth Walker? Nope, Charbonnet.
Like, I don't know. And by the way, what is going on? Are NFL teams moving closer to this running back tandem thing? I don't remember, and maybe it's because of prop talk, but I don't remember in fantasy football. I got second place, by the way. I got house in the championship. But I don't remember the running back tandems as, I guess, prevalent as they are now. I mean, it really is a big deal just from a prop talk fantasy perspective. You don't know. You don't know. The whole thing was Sonic and Knuckles with the Lions, right? And they purposely have pushed that, and we get that, even though a lot of people think David Montgomery should be getting more touches and should be a starter. But if you look around the league, Kyle, basically there's 2 options, right? You have there's 3 options, kind of. You have a stud, and you just don't use your backup, like the Niners and the Eagles, right? You have a clear-ish tandem, like look at Monungai and DeAndre Swift. But I think the kind of separate piece to that is you have the rising star where the backup is about to take the older running back's job, just like what they did with Gibbs and Montgomery. And now I would say next season, Monungai will probably be the starter over DeAndre Swift. But I don't remember these running back tandems like Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. It's just everywhere. And I don't know, are they trying to allow these running backs? Or James Cook is another one who is with James Cook, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley,
Christian
McCaffrey, right? And I'm sure there's a couple others.
And Rico Dowell.
But now him and Chuba, now they're tandeming.
But the 6 weeks of Rico Dowell, we'll never forget.
Now they're tandeming, and it just feels like I don't remember running back tandems as prevalent in the league as right now.
I feel like everyone's kind of caught on in part because of the injuries, but I always remember the Patriots, when they were winning all the time, they'd always do the tandem thing where it'd be like LeGarrette Blount and James White, or like Sony Michel and James White, or whoever that random dude was that had like 100 receiving yards in the Super Bowl. It was like the Patriots, I felt like, always did this every year. They never had a great running back, but they always had some combination of Sonic and Knuckles. Usually the Knuckles was the receiving back.
Well, and it's funny because everyone needs to do a little bit of something now. They're all you catching the football in the backfield because of how defenses are trying to prevent the big plays. That's now you need to shoot threes and you can't be Matisse Thybulle. Right, you can't, and that's why we're gonna have a conversation about Dylan Cardwell, because he's outstanding defensively. I still don't know what to do with him offensively, and how high can his ceiling get if he figures out just a little bit offensively. Because if you can't catch the football as a running back these days, that's a problem, right? Even if you're not, there used to be, to your point, Kyle, we got the receiving back. Like there's some guys like your boy on the Chiefs. He's Brashard Smith. He's literally just there to receive. He does not. He's a running back that doesn't run. Right?
Yeah.
All he does is catch passes. But as the injuries piled up, and that was the worst tandem in the league, by the way, Kareem Hunt and what's left of Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
Just awful. And once that one of them got hurt again, Brashard had to run, and he was terrible at running. Just go catch a pass. And once Mahomes wasn't there anymore, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
I still don't know who played quarterback for the Chiefs on Christmas Day.
Oladokin?
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
You're a bad fan.
No, I am in on tanking. That's what I am a fan of.
Okay, well, you got to still pay attention.
It's Christmas, Alan. You think I'm going to go watch Ola Cullen or whatever his name was?
I watched.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I watched.
No. You think I'm going to watch that instead of spending time with my family?
I watched because that cooked me, because they let Bo Nix get 19 fantasy points.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm not watching
It's Oladokin.
I've watched.
It kind of looks like Patrick Mahomes. It kind of sounds like Patrick Mahomes.
I've watched this team go to 7 straight AFC Championship games. I'm not watching people wearing the jersey. Anyways.
Wow. That's a bad fan. Everybody remember that Kyle's a bad fan. Okay, well, we know Sacramento Kings fans are not bad fans because they've been watching this team play pretty poorly.
Senor Segway strikes again.
Verse one, pretty poorly for majority of the season, but they have turned it around a little bit. There are some, I guess, bright spots, if you will, with Dylan Cardwell, with Maxime Reynaud, with Nick Clifford to a certain extent. Keon Ellis balled out, and people still are all over him for a possible first-round pick. So there are some positives here, but the reality is we're all just waiting. I feel like when you talk about the stages of grief, we are at the point now where we understand what this is, right? We're just waiting for a move to be made. We're going to talk about January 15th and how that could maybe start some of the talking and the wheeling and dealing. Obviously, Giannis is the big domino everybody is kind of waiting for. After that windmill dunk and Giannis trying to give his team a spark against the Bulls. Yeah, a couple fights in the NBA, by the way. You had Jose Alvarado jump punch. Jose Alvarado.
Did you see that video with your boy, Jordan Poole, in the background?
Yes, of course I did.
That was so funny.
Of course I did. So you had a jump punch. You had Giannis windmilling to give a spark to the team that he's about to leave. So just a lot of different things that have happened throughout these last couple days. But as far as the Kings are concerned, look, they had a decent run here. They lose to the Pistons. That was on Tuesday. They do beat the downtrodden Dallas Mavericks on Saturday, and then kind of got housed by the Lakers. I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I was a little bit deceived by how bad the Mavericks are, but I did think that the Kings would have a better showing against the Lakers. It was a revenge game all over the place. I mean, Malik Monk, Dennis Schroeder, Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, who they refused to pick up. Then on the other side of it, you had Luka, who obviously they should have drafted me. You just had a lot of different revenge storylines there. And I don't know, for some reason I expected that to be a much better game than it was. And, Doug says this was the first time that they really didn't come out with the requisite intensity and physicality that they had been playing with. And, I don't know, man. You go to L.A., weird stuff happens, and I just expected a bit of a better showing. And, I'm just, even against the Pistons, they put up, it was physical. It was a solid showing. They obviously had beat the Rockets. So they did some things for sure. But, yeah, maybe they were just due for a stinker. They do get the Clippers tomorrow night, speaking of stinkers. And Kawhi, there's a lot of rumors going around that Kawhi might be headed to Detroit. He was doing the whisper thing with Cade Cunningham. Could that be the missing piece for them? Kawhi is just a quieter assassin than Kevin Durant. Just let me go somewhere and try to win a ring. I know he tried to kind of lay his roots down from the SoCal area with the Clippers, and it just didn't work out for him. So he probably did his time, right, in LA, but he might be headed elsewhere. The Kings, they got to go to LA, speaking of Kawhi, and take on the Clippers. And then on New Year's Day, they host the Celtics. That may or may not make more sense. So now everyone's doing the thing now with the Celtics because Jason Tatum is out and they're winning. So now everybody's doing the thing saying, does it make more sense? I mean, it's not that it makes more sense. You're paying Jaylen Brown $300 million, right? It kind of should look like this. That's the funniest thing about contracts. When people actually live up to their contracts, everyone's surprised. Jaylen Brown, you're paying him a lot of money. It should look like this. So 4 hours with you, plenty of Niners, plenty of NFL, plenty of tanking talk with the Kings and or the Raiders. Max Crosby, will you give it a rest? Just go home and cash the check, brother. Just go home and cash the check. When we return, is Brock Purdy a top 5 QB in the NBA right now? And, of course, Maxime Reynaud in the NFL. And, of course, Maxime Reynaud, is he actually a bust? That's what Kyle wants to say. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
The holiday rush continues at your California Ford dealers. The Ford year-end sell-a-thon is on. Now through January 2nd, get our best offers across the most popular Ford trucks and SUVs. From America's best-selling Ford F-Series trucks for 48 years, the legendary F-150 and Super Duty, to the Bronco family of SUVs for those who don't wait for adventure to begin. Plus, all-electric standouts like the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning. And Explorer and Escape, the perfect balance of comfort, capability, and everyday versatility. Get ready to power through whatever the season brings in a Ford. But don't wait. These year-end sell-a-thon savings won't last. The clock's ticking. The lots are moving. And these are the season's biggest savings on an incredible selection of Ford vehicles. Rush in before the sell-a-thon and the savings are over January 2nd. Get to your California Ford dealers today. Claim based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year industry reported total.
Daniel Tosh, my first farewell tour. Saturday, January 24th, 8 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley.
This is how I come up with material. I rant to my friends and my family, my inner circle, and when they hate every word coming out of my mouth, I know it's ready.
Saturday, January 24th, 8 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley. On sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss your chance to see Daniel Tosh.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Coach Christie here letting you know the year-end sell-a-thon is on at Folsom Lake Ford. And with your approved credit, get 0% financing plus 0 down, plus no payments for 90 days on select new Fords. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford today. Interest accrues from date of purchase.
At InShape, there's a place for every kind of mover. The Sometimer, the early riser, after-work grinder, the yogi, lifter, walker, runner, sun seeker, recoverer. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
On Sactown Sports.
Brockstar. You know, I had to take, what was that, a couple months ago, and it was marrying the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, marrying Mr. Irrelevant with the Brockstar, right? And Brock, the Brockstar, that's the gunslinger. He wants to run around and do all this stuff. Mr. Irrelevant followed the game plan, just put the ball where Kyle Shanahan wanted him to put the ball. And I said the main thing is whether or not Brock Purdy could marry them both. You saw both last night. You saw a pick to start the game, right? But then you saw Brock extend, and Kyle Shanahan thought, first he said, just throw it to Juszczyk, get a 3-yard gain. Then he thought, just throw it away, Brock. And then Brock doesn't throw it away, ends up getting a touchdown. So you literally saw the good and the bad from the Brockstar last night. But he has been so good or so outstanding when he is good that the bad, there's not really too much to talk about. I mean, he's got 10 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Somebody said he has as many touchdowns, or he's been responsible for as many touchdowns as Jordan Love. And he hasn't played in nearly as many games. So what he's able to do, he's got to be the slipperiest quarterback in the league. Because Josh Allen isn't slippery. He's just big as a house, right? He's not slippery. He's just big. Brock Purdy is the slipperiest quarterback. It's like he puts baby oil on, right, or margarine or something before the game starts, and just nobody can get him.
I don't know. Baker Mayfield is up there in that group too.
Baker is, but I don't want to talk about Baker right now. That dude, he blew it for me, okay? And the Bucs just completely, just bleeped all over themselves. So we ain't talking about Baker right now. But you are right, Kyle. It's these 6'1", smaller quarterbacks that are just they have a good center of gravity, and they just don't go down. But Baker doesn't go down. Brock doesn't really get touched. I'm trying to think who else, because Kyler when Kyler plays, it feels like Kyler hasn't played in 3 years, but Kyler, he's shifty. I don't know that I would call Brock shifty. He's just slippery.
And he got a little motion to him.
Oh, no, he got some wiggle, and he got some Dougie-ing. And I'm telling you right now, Kyle, you were shaking your head no. When I said this, when I walked in, I said, hey, Kyle, hope you had a good I didn't even say that. I just said, Brock Purdy's the top 5 quarterback. That's how I said hello to Kyle Ledbetter after not seeing him for a couple days. Brock Purdy's the top 5 quarterback. Kyle, give me 5 others. You can't.
Okay, look, first, before we do this, I want to preface by saying I have a newfound respect and love for Brock Purdy after picking him up right before the fantasy playoffs because Mahomes tore his ACL and leading me to my 4th championship in 8 years.
Good for you.
Let me just say, the Nick Foles of my fantasy football dynasty is Brock Purdy.
There you go.
I will say, Josh Allen.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson.
Not this year. Not right now.
You would rather have Brock Purdy than Lamar Jackson?
Yes. Oh. Right now, I don't know what Lamar is. What is he?
A 2-time MVP who probably should have been 3-time MVP.
No, that's fine.
Yes, and he's hurt right now. I get it.
At 10:32, December 29th. I'm looking at the camera. I want Brock Purdy over Lamar Jackson right now. If you told me next week Lamar's going to be healthy or you can run Brock, I'm running Brock.
All right, I will be cutting this for future reference.
Right now, Kyle, how can you even make this argument?
Yes, Lamar Jackson physically cannot play
No.
right
I'm saying
now.
he's probably going to be ready for next week. But I'm just telling you, and we talked about this, Ramsey and I, last week. The Lamar thing, and that's a separate conversation, but I'm taking Brock. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
And I'm not blinking twice. But go ahead. This is your list.
Okay.
I'm just debunking it.
Sorry,
but it's your list.
I thought this would be the easy one. Lamar Jackson.
Kyle, the brother don't play.
Even in a bad year, he still got 20 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. One of the best passer ratings in the league. Anyways, Joe Burrow.
These guys, these horsemen, the hurt horsemen. I don't know what to do with the hurt horsemen, Kyle.
All right, you see him yesterday? He was lighting up.
Yeah, no. When the Bengals are out of it, watch out. Watch it. They turn into the Patriots with Tom Brady.
Okay.
Literally.
How about, let's keep going. Guy named Patrick Mahomes.
Kyle, I don't know if you're understanding the exercise.
You're saying Brock Purdy is a top 5 quarterback?
I'm saying right now.
Okay.
Literally
so,
right now.
So you're saying in the MVP conversation, Brock Purdy should be top 5?
However you want to say it, Kyle.
So
you're naming off guys that have missed time. Okay, yes.
Stafford.
Now you're getting it.
Okay, I thought we would establish those guys. But anyways, Stafford.
Fine, I'll take Stafford.
Okay, Drake May.
That's a close one for me.
Okay, and then we're probably getting into the guys that
good seasons.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence is having a really good season.
Justin Herbert. Come on, Allen. Come to the dark side.
I'm not doing it.
You hate Justin Herbert.
No, I don't hate Justin Herbert.
You hate Justin Herbert.
No, Brock Purdy went to a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy is throwing to Jake Tonjes.
Yes, Justin Herbert's throwing to
McConkey.
Vidal.
He's not throwing.
He's got Vidal.
Is it Hampton? Is it Omarion Hampton?
Yeah, he's back now.
He's throwing to one of them.
And here's the other thing. Justin Herbert
he's throwing a what's left of Keenan Allen
with his 3rd string right tackle and his 4th string left tackle.
By the way, can we talk about just real quick Oronde Gadsden? The most Jeremy Lin 3 weeks I've ever seen. That dude turned into a pumpkin right in front of everybody's face. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
What happened?
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
You want to keep going? So we're at 4 or 5.
I don't know who's at 4 or 5. I'm at. Who'd you say? I'm at Stafford.
All right. Well, I'll give you Caleb Williams because he just beat Caleb Williams last night. So we can throw that one out there.
I got Stafford, and that's it.
Yeah. so Brock Purdy should be 2nd for the MVP, and maybe Drake May.
I'm just saying, Kyle, based on how they're playing right now. I'm not saying the MVP race because he hasn't played. I'm saying hotness, right? How hot they are right now. I got Stafford. I got Drake.
All right.
I got Purdy. And the Purdy-Drake thing, Drake is beating some bums.
What happened to Josh Allen? I thought we were Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, yes.
Okay, Josh Allen's ahead of him.
Come on now. Just throw the ball away, Josh. Enough.
All right. Sam Darnold.
Enough.
How do we feel about Sam Darnold, huh?
I will kick you out of here, like right now. But no.
Dak Prescott?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I just wanted to say that one.
Who else?
What? I'm out of.
I'm telling you.
I've given you 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I'm not taking any of them besides the only one I would for sure take is Matthew Stafford.
So you're saying, this again, not a good example because he's hurt, but you're saying going into the playoffs, if I told you you could have Joe Burrow on the Niners right now instead of Brock Purdy.
I feel like that's a different conversation.
Right now. The playoffs are right now. How about going into Saturday? If I told you on Saturday you can get rid of Brock Purdy and add Joe Burrow to the Niners for one game.
I'm really not trying to do a bit. I'm really not. But I've just been beat down for so long with these hypotheticals. I really just don't know what to do with it. The obvious answer is to take Joe Burrow. But I haven't ever seen it. And all I've seen is Joe Burrow run around. And he went to a Super Bowl and lost too. Don't get me wrong. I guess I have to take Joe Burrow, but that's not really the spirit of this exercise, Kyle.
Then what is it? It's just to prove that Brock Purdy's a top 5 quarterback?
Yeah, the top 5. It's not, we're not doing Frankenstein. We left the Frankenstein teams in like 2023.
I was just having this conversation yesterday. This is why it's so hard to evaluate Brock Purdy, is because his first great run where he was almost the MVP came with the super team where he was at best the 4th most important player on that offense. And then last year, all the injuries happened, including to him, and they're not as good. And then this year, offense never punts. I don't know if it's Brock Purdy. I don't know if it's Christian McCaffrey. I don't know what.
And here's the crazy thing. He's not a merchant, but he does spam a lot, right? I think that's the most fascinating thing about the Niners offense. They spam like two guys, and you know it. And last night, they actually spread the ball around a little bit, but that's been the whole thing with having a Niners player on your fantasy team besides Christian McCaffrey. Last night, Ricky Pearsall goes from cannot walk to available.
I literally said minutes before he scored the game-winning touchdown, is Juwan Jennings even playing?
Yeah.
And then he caught the game-winning touchdown.
Then that was it. So they find, and this is more Kyle Shanahan, so I'm not trying to take away anything from Brock because I do feel like I'm just tired of doing the put Justin Herbert on the Niners. Brock is on the Niners. Brock was the last pick in the draft, and Brock looks outstanding. And the eye test doesn't lie to you. Right? That play to use check, how many guys in the league right now are making that play? Caleb tried a very similar play, and Caleb couldn't get it done. Right? The broken play. Mahomes gets it done, obviously. Lamar gets it done when these guys are healthy, but there's not a ton of players that are making these slippery plays. Baker has some of that, but Baker is a complete nightmare right now.
Yeah, it's only Brock Purdy and your boy Bo Nix.
I don't know what to do with Bo. Drake May's making that play. But the thing is,
Jaden Daniels,
yeah. But there's a reason I didn't love Jaden Daniels out of college, and you're seeing it right now.
Well, you're not seeing it because he's not playing.
That's my point. That is my point. No, that is my point, Kyle. You're seeing it because he's in street clothes with Juju Watkins. That's how you're seeing it.
Sure.
Okay.
I think we concluded that, yes, Brock Purdy is better than Lamar Jackson. We heard it here first.
No, I'm saying right now. It's very simple, Kyle.
And again, look, fantasy football legend Brock Purdy leading me to the championship. But
I don't know what to do. I don't know how, if somebody were to tell me or ask me, Allen, describe Lamar as a quarterback right now, I would say, I guess a pocket passer that scrambles a little bit. I mean, they're not running the option. They're not running even plays for Lamar to run because he can't stay healthy.
Well, and he doesn't run like he used to, but he's still an amazing passer. That was the whole marvel of last year.
But that's the whole thing now. Now he's this pocket passer. I don't care. I don't care. That's like if Ricky Henderson, R.I.P. Ricky Henderson, right? He hits home runs, okay? But he is there to get on base and to steal bags. If Ricky stops stealing bags, we don't really care about the home runs. I get it. He can hit home runs. He's got that power. But Lamar, without running, I don't give a bleep about his pocket passing. That's not what we signed up for. It's not. Am I crazy? Give me 5 names. 916-339-1140. Give me 5 quarterbacks right now. And don't you say anybody that's injured. Do not, or we will hang up on you. Give me 5 quarterbacks. Give me 3 quarterbacks. Better than Brock Purdy right now. On the other side, let's recap what the Kings have done during this week stretch here when we were out. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit calllammaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
We have not mentioned Mac Jones.
Yeah,
in a very long
that's
time.
a good one. We forgot about that.
We have not talked about Mac Jones in a very long time.
Did you see Quinn Ewers on Sunday, Allen?
Man, I'm telling you, can spin a little bit. I'm taking Quinn Ewers over Tua right now.
This gives me hope for Arch Manning. If he couldn't beat that dude out, that guy's a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, he was torching the Bucs. I don't know what's going to happen with Todd Bowles, but yeah, the Bucs, that I know they were missing some guys, but they're kind of not missing offensive guys now, and Emeka Egbuka, his downfall needs to be the whole thing just went so south.
He's still a rookie.
I'm just saying his rookie downfall. I mean, he was supposed to be offensive rookie of the year.
He was a prop talk champion.
He was getting specials. Whenever you get a special on what is it, Kyle? The NFL Game Day on ESPN, the show that leads up NFL Live or
NFL Game Day Live.
Yeah, NFL Game Day Live. He was getting specials. Whenever you're getting specials, that means you're cooking. Now the brother, he's set to like 35 yards on Prop Talk.
Remember, what was it, his first game where he was like, just throw me the deep ball. I got it.
Oh, my goodness. Really? Well, I guess
he's
Baker,
now behind Tyler Shuck for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I guess Baker maybe is a little bit dinged up. That's what people have been saying. But yeah, the Bucs, they're a complete nightmare. 916-329-1140. All right, JR wants to be part of the conversation. I'm assuming this is about Purdy, but here we go. All right, what's up, JR? How you doing? What you got for us?
Hey, De La Styles. Happy holidays.
How you doing?
Good, man. I was there last night in Santa Clara. Oh, my God, that was friggin' phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just off the chart. And you know what? They were testing. You could tell that Levi was testing a lot of the fireworks and all that for the Super Bowl because They had it all going on for that game last night.
Dang.
And it was super awesome. Hey, so I get your little quarterback thing. If you're a coach right now, I guarantee you 98% of them would say, I want Brock Purdy as my starting quarterback. If you're a coach. Because he will do exactly what you tell him to do. He'll be put in a position, and he can move around and get the offense moving.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You could do our little opinions as fans watching the game. I don't know. Besides May, I don't see anyone. I wouldn't start anyone over him right here, right now.
No, it's a great call, JR, and thanks for it. And here's the thing. I've been on this. May is the hot guy. There's always a hot guy. I'll never forget. Right? It was, what was it? 4th or 5th grade. Okay, the dude's name was Daniel, right? Daniel comes in, he's from San Mateo, right? And I'm the stud at the school, okay? Shout out St. Francis. I'm the fastest kid in class, okay? I'm the man.
Allen Stiles, the fastest 4th grader in San Mateo.
This dude comes in, right? And of course, whenever there's a new person, right, all the girls are like, oh, look at Daniel. He's so cute, all this stuff. I'm thinking, hey. This is the beginning of the school year. I got new shoes. I got a haircut. Okay, it was a bald fade because that's what kids got back then. We weren't getting frohawks. Hey, you're my 4th graders, right? This is my class. Well, no. Just in general. This is my class, okay? This kid pulls up and PE starts, right? And to start PE, they would have us just sprint to whatever play structure we were going to have PE at. So it's like, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is where I really, show off the Jets. Kyle, I got cooked by Daniel, the new kid. Kyle, he cooks me. Okay, he eventually went on to be a stud at soccer and played varsity freshman year at De La Salle. But at that time, I didn't know that. I'm thinking, no, I'm the hot guy, right? I'm the guy.
You're the 4th grader.
I'm the 4th grader. I think it was 5th grade because we were getting ready for junior high. So this is my time to shine. Right? I got my jeans on. I got everything, Kyle, and I got absolutely cooked. And he was the hot guy. And everybody forgets about the other guys once there's a hot guy. We've had 3 consecutive years of hot guys. We had CJ Stroud, the hot guy. We had Jaden Daniels, the hot guy. Now everybody is saying we need Drake May. Drake May, again, I'm not saying he might win the MVP. He probably wins the MVP. But we do this every year. There's a new hot guy. I'm going through, Kyle. Let's go through the Patriots schedule right now. Okay, let's just go through it. And I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying we do this every single year with a different hot guy. Like that's literally what this has been. And every single time we do it, we forget about the guys besides obviously the Mahomes and guys like that. All right, Kyle, this is what
besides the Mahomes thing, yeah.
This is what the Patriots have done. All right, they lost to the Las Vegas Raiders, which was hilarious.
Wow, the Raiders must be good.
They beat the Dolphins week 2. They lose to the Steelers. They beat the Panthers. They whooped on the Panthers. It's kind of before the Panthers were good. That huge game against the Bills. Yeah, I'll give them that. The Saints they beat. They're not good. They beat the Titans. They're not good. They beat the Browns. They're not good. They beat the Falcons. They're not good. They beat the Bucks, who I guess were kind of good, but on the down spiral at that time. That's already week 10. Then they beat the Jets. Then they beat the Bengals. Then they beat the Giants. Then they lose to the Bills. They beat the Ravens. I don't even know if Lamar played in that game. And then they whoop on the Jets. And you know who they have next, Kyle? Quinn Ewers and the Dolphins. So Drake May, everybody is saying Drake May. I mean, sure, but somebody's saying here, 916 says May, Stafford, Herbert, and Allen. Right? So now, just like Jaden Daniels, Drake May is in everybody's top 5. And I get it. We're having a conversation right now, right? But people taking him over Brock, it's just the same. He is the Daniel. He is Daniel in my 5th grade class, and everybody likes him. Everybody likes him right now. And then next season, there'll be another Daniel. And after that, just every year, Kyle.
But was Brock not the hot guy also?
Brock was different because he's not a top pick. I think a lot of people hated on Brock.
No, they did. They said he's a system quarterback, and they got to the Super Bowl.
So I don't know that Brock was ever the hot guy, to be honest with you.
But he almost won MVP.
And it was very controversial. I don't get me wrong. I have heard people say Drake May is beating a bunch of bad teams. I have. Yeah. But that is more of a, hey, just to let y'all know, he's beating bad teams. Brock was, hey, you know what they're not doing, Kyle? They're not making Frankenstein Patriots teams and implementing every single other QB saying, if that was Brock, they'd say all these other QBs would win MVP because of what the Patriots are doing. They're not doing that with Drake May because he was a top pick.
I think that's part of it too, and maybe where I feel better about Drake May than even Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud is that organization is not as dumpster fire as Houston and, historically speaking, Washington. We'll see how this Washington thing works out. But historically speaking, those are bad organizations that ruin quarterbacks. And so them being the hot guy was like, oh my God, they're changing the fortunes of these franchises, which, in fairness to CJ Stroud, the Texans are going to make the playoffs again this year. But a lot of these teams are capped at how much they can enhance the ceiling of these quarterbacks because they don't have the infrastructure and quality in place organizationally, versus the Patriots were like, oh my God, they could go on a 10-year run.
Yeah. Some of the text coming in, 916 says, when every one of the 32 starting QBs are fully healthy and on top of their game, I truly feel the only ones better than Brock are Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. So 916 did not say Patrick Mahomes. So I don't agree with you there, 916. That's a little bit too much dip on the chip. Right, but I mean, I don't think it's a ton of names. I had Brock as the 7th QB going into last season, and things got a little squirrely last season. But Joe, Josh, the 4 horsemen, Joe, Josh, Mahomes, and Lamar, they are where they are when healthy. I don't know what to do with Lamar.
Then you also had Jalen Hurts.
I didn't have Jalen Hurts top 5
going into this year.
Well, I had to. He was Super Bowl MVP. And now Tanner McKee is going to take his job. So look how that turned out for him. The one that I do think is really interesting, this is from Kimberly, who is a Chargers fan. So what makes a great QB? Great teammates or adequate teammates, and the QB has to carry the team. The Chargers would not be where they are without Herbert. I do agree with that. I truly don't know what to do with Justin Herbert. I really don't. I don't. I saw somebody say that Justin Herbert is just... What they say, Justin Herbert is just Derek Carr with good PR. That's what somebody said. I mean, I think that's ridiculous. But I just don't know what to do with Justin Herbert. I truly don't. I don't. And I guess the Justin Herbert thing is Matthew Stafford in Detroit. I think that's what this is. And maybe he'll get to a different team. He's another guy. Just throw the ball away, though. Just throw the ball away.
This is the funny thing about it is Justin Herbert is Phillip Rivers in San Diego. Like, it's just the same thing over again. He's awesome, makes Pro Bowls, puts up awesome numbers. Team can never win.
Yeah. Dwayne Baker saying nobody's saying Jordan Love. Dwayne, you've listened to the show for a while. You know I don't got love for Jordan Love. You know Jordan Love, I can't do it with Jordan Love.
It's a weird way to spell Malik Willis.
I can't. I mean, and he's welcome to Vegas. Malik Willis, welcome to Las Vegas. On the other side, this Eastern Conference team now has interest in Malik Monk. We will tell you who it is when we return. More Allen Stiles coming up.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Rights reserved.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. performance that pays off. Because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/fast. That's ethos.com/fast.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports, 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
A lot of NFL in that first hour, but you know how we get down once we hit 11 o'clock. It is time for some Beam talk because Malik Monk is now the focus of another Eastern Conference team. We've talked about the Raptors before. There's another Eastern Conference team. Real quick, we were having a lot of good conversation about Brock Purdy and who you would take over Brock. And Dwayne Baker says, I'd take Jordan Love over Purdy just because Allen wouldn't. Doesn't make me wrong. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, Dwayne. You can take who you want. I'm just saying I wouldn't. You're completely correct. That is just my opinion. I don't know why you would take Jordan Love over Brock Purdy, but you can.
Yeah, to Dwayne's point, I would take Lamar Jackson over Brock Purdy, but Allen doesn't want Lamar Jackson on the 49ers.
Not right now. Not at 11 o'clock. Can I watch him finish a game? Can Lamar finish a game?
Well, he's going to get his chance on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, can I just say, not just because he was on my fantasy team, it's insane that Derrick Henry is able to still do that, where he puts up 220 yards and 4 touchdowns. That was insane.
I hear you. All right, more NFL in a little bit, but we wanted to get into some Kings talk as the Kings, decent run here. We're just talking competitive basketball at this point. That's what it is. And there is now an Eastern Conference team that is interested in Malik Monk. This is from James Collier, who covers the NBA for ESPN, trying to get James on the show, by the way. The Bucks are looking to build a contender around Giannis and have shown interest in Malik Monk. And he writes, in the meantime, multiple team and league sources say the team has been active in pursuing the trade market, engaging in internal conversations about, among others, Sacramento's Zach LaVine, who they have had interest in and chances to acquire in the past, and Malik Monk, as well as Portland's Jeremy Grant. So what we do know is that the Bucks have no clue what they're doing. I mean, they're just throwing bleep at a board and trying to see what sticks. Malik Monk is my favorite player on the Sacramento Kings. I've said it time and time again, and I have no real clue why the Bucks think that this would help keep Giannis. It turns into, are you just trying to keep him this season? Have you just decided, has Giannis decided, because a lot of players do not like the midseason trade, as kind of Brett Siegel said to start, this thing was going to take time. So maybe Giannis was just laying the groundwork and he's just going to get through this season. So the Bucks are hoping kind of what the Kings should have done. Hey, let's see if we can go on a nice run. It's a down year in the East, and we'll just talk about this on the other side, and maybe Giannis still decides to leave. But Malik Monk, to me, I mean, if you're talking about Malik Monk, Jeremy Grant, Zach LaVine, and the problem with Jeremy Grant is his contract, I think you would need Jeremy Grant and Malik Monk to make any type of run in the East, even with Tatum and Halliburton missing. So Malik is at that $18.7 million, Kyle. I mean, sure, just do that for Kyle Kuzma if you want, but I have no clue. I don't even know if the Bucks are better. I don't even know if they're better just based on what the league likes. I know Kyle Kuzma has terrible PR, but you look at it right now, Kyle, and funny enough, Fanspo says the Bucks add 3 wins and the Kings lose 3 more games.
Allen, you don't understand. Kyle Kuzma is pretty bad, dude. Like, they could just send him home right now, and I think they might be better.
Yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, though, what does that mean for the Bucks, right? I get it, their last-ditch efforts, but I'm looking at what Ryan Rollins is doing at 23 years old and Kevin Porter Jr. Just feels like they have a lot of Malik Monk-type players already, and I don't know why they would go in that direction. I think Jeremy Grant is a good one, but Jeremy Grant with that contract, yeah. I mean, are you trading – I think you'd have to trade Bobby Portis maybe and Kyle Kuzma for Jeremy Grant, and I don't know if that makes them better. So as far as what I've been hearing, it's been very clear that the Kings are open to moving Malik Monk. He's playing a little bit more because of the injuries that they've had. Zach LaVine still out and other guys being dinged up. Now Keegan Murray, calf strain, he's out. He's fallen victim to the calf strain plague across the league. So Malik Monk is getting a little bit of playing time here. But it's very clear the Kings have always been open to moving Malik Monk. I think they believe, maybe not specific redundancy, but they have that log jam. They want to give more runway to Keon. They want to give more runway to some of these other guys, even a Nick Clifford, who more and more looks like a 2 more than anything else. I think he can play the 3, but he looks to be more comfortable. Maybe he gets a little stronger in a couple years. He can get to the 3. But, yeah, the 2 position, sometimes they don't even run a 2 because they'll just have Schroeder and Westbrook. But it's very clear that they've been trying to move off of Malik Monk. And as far as what they're getting back, I wouldn't be surprised if you can find something that's just an expiring deal. They would be open to doing that. And even if you do get Kyle Kuzma, the one thing that all these teams have been talking about is you do lose. Kyle Kuzma is only making about $4 million more than Malik Monk, and you lose a year on that contract. So you're paying a higher AAV for, I guess, a lesser player, but you're only paying that for 2 more years instead of Malik Monk 3 more years. And logistically, it's a more functional position than what you have right now, even if Kyle Kuzma to Malik Monk, one player is better than the other. So this probably is just the move to make. I mean, if you're the Kings, I would make it. if you're the Bucks, I'm still not necessarily sure why you do it, but I think it's something to take a page out of your book, Kyle. It's just and it's the same conversation we had about Zach LaVine. It's just a different look, right? We just want a different look because this group it's not working with them. Yeah, everybody is into the 6'9" wings, but not that 6'9", not that one, not Kyle Kuzma, but
not the ones that are 30 and can't play defense.
Exactly. I mean, I look at the Bucks, Kyle, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more as we hit the later segments in the 11 o'clock hour. But I look at this and I say, just go get Trae Young if you're the Bucks. Isn't that the more obvious thing for them to do?
Can they even do that? Like, I'm trying to think how the money. I guess if they can get Zach LaVine, they can get Trae Young.
Yeah, they can get Zach LaVine. And it's more about the Hawks really just want to move off of Trae Young. Those are the reports. So Trae Young is making 45. I think this is the most obvious thing. It's the same thing. Now you sacrifice everything, right?
So
but
it's what, Kuzma, Portis, probably like Gary Harris or something.
Yeah, Kuzma, Portis, and then you still need about 10 mil more somewhere. So yeah, it would be tough, but my whole thing is, well, Zach LaVine is making more than Trae Young. So if they're interested in...
They're also below the apron, so they don't have to match it exactly. You just have to, I think, if I remember correctly, you just have to throw in like Gary Harris or something to make it work. And then obviously your 2031 pick, which is what Bleacher Report was saying they should offer for Herb Jones. And if you can get Trae Young for Herb Jones prices, by all means, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, so I don't really get the Malik Monk thing if that's your only move. Now, if you're finding a way, because going back to the Jeremy Grant thing, if you're thinking, hey, let's go get a scorer, like Jeremy Grant and Malik Monk, in their mind, better than Kyle Kuzma and Bobby Portis, right? That's what I would imagine. It's just finding a way. So Jeremy Grant is at $32 million. Okay, so Jeremy Grant at $32 million, Kyle Kuzma's at $22. And then you have, obviously, Bobby Portis at 13. I don't think they can get both.
They can. They would have to send Portis to Sacramento and Kuzma and a couple other players to Portland. But it is theoretically possible. Mm-hmm. I mean, but again, how much are you actually changing the fortunes of the Milwaukee Bucks?
I don't think you are.
But that's every conversation we have comes back to that, which is, what does Milwaukee want to do? Because they're essentially in this holding pattern where Giannis won't request a trade, so they're not going to trade him, and everyone's just coming out of it super unhappy. So whether it was Zach LaVine or Malik Monk, like, I get it if you're getting Malik Monk for Kyle Kuzma, but when it came to the players they were trying to trade for, I was like, I don't know how much that's raising the ceiling of the Bucks when they are basically falling out of contention at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a situation where, I don't know how much of this, when we talk about the Giants, kind of reminds me of the San Francisco Giants, and their reports that come out once a week that they made a call to Framber Valdez. They had a conversation and they made a call to Cody Bellinger, but you don't actually know if they are really planning on doing anything. They just want to sound like it. I don't know that the Bucks are going to make a move on any of this. I think maybe they want to sound like they're doing what they can to keep Giannis, and they're just essentially waiting for Giannis to officially say, I want out. I think the tough part is that maybe if you're Giannis, I don't want to. I know there was a report that his family was overseas or whatever is going on. He might just not want to do it mid-season, which we've heard players say time and time again, they really don't like doing that. So because this whole thing broke and we're only in December, the Bucks are in a weird spot where it's, okay, we kind of have to make a move, but we know you are planning on leaving, Giannis, so you could just say it, right?
Dude, but every year that passes is a year that Giannis gets older and out of his prime window of time, which I guess maybe if you're trading for Giannis, you can't win the title this year anyways because of what it would take. I know we were gone for a week, so stuff kind of happened, but did you see the actual quote Giannis had about the windmill dunk?
Yeah, he said, he was trying to spark something, and yada, yada, yada.
It was really interesting, though. I want to just this point. He said, we're 11th in the East. Got to keep finding an identity. And if that's to get a little scrappy at the end, so be it. We're not champs. Why should we play the clock out and have respect and play fair? We're fighting for our lives right now. I've been 13 years in the league. If we keep on losing, probably half the team is not going to be here. We're not going to make the playoffs. I really don't care.
Yeah, I guess the interesting thing is half the team won't be here. I just love how he tries to make it seem like he's going to get dealt. He loves to sound like he's a regular player.
But he's trying to get this team together when the whole team is like, yeah, we're probably not all going to be here because if you get traded, this whole thing is going to get blown up.
But it reminds me of the scene from I Think You Should Leave where he's sitting there. We're all trying to figure out who did this, right? Giannis is, hey, we're all trying to figure this out. You haven't committed, and you don't have to, but the rest of the team is thinking, yeah, I don't know, Giannis, are we playing to try to keep you or what's going on here? Honestly, and they keep coming up in the Kings conversation, it's kind of Kingsy when we talk about the Kings just kind of walking the plank and waiting. Their situation is a different Kings situation where they're waiting for something else. They're waiting for Giannis to officially say they want out, but they're all just kind of waiting because they know they're not winning a championship. They're either waiting for a trade to get better or they're waiting for Giannis to get traded. So all those players, I mean, Ryan Rollins is just playing to try to get cashed out. Miles Turner is thinking, man, I really... The Pacers didn't want to pay me, but now I'm just looking here and I might just be holding the bag at the end of it. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason the players are a little bit confused, I should say, and their motivation is they're just not really a good team. So I'm not even going to talk about their effort. They're just not a good team. And then on top of that, I think everybody feels like, Giannis, this is ending soon. We know it's ending soon.
Yeah, the Giannis part of it is a whole separate element to the Bucks part of it because the Bucks are still just trying to win, but they probably shouldn't trade that 2031 first without a longer-term commitment from Giannis because they really are going to need that pick. By the way, I think the Bucks own their own pick this year, but there's like a pick swap with the Pelicans. So anyways, the Bucks theoretically will get a lottery pick this year to try and help this process out, but that part's tough. The Kings part of it, though, I think is interesting because I know you guys talked about it while I was gone, but I haven't been here since the Malik Monk getting benched situation.
Then unbenched.
Then unbenched, but only because of injuries, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to pay $18 million, if Malik's going to be the guy out of the logjam, right? If we're saying Keon is now in, Malik is out on the logjam, we're playing Doug McDermott over him for some reason, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Like, if we're saying Malik is the guy on the out of the logjam, I'd rather pay $20 million a year for Kyle Kuzma to not play than Malik Monk to not play.
Yeah, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world for the Kings. Don't get me wrong. It just doesn't make, and it's like I said, it's less years on the contract. So that's a biggie too.
In theory, because it is a player option for Malik in that last year, but like,
Kyle,
we'll see.
Kyle, 2 guards these days, you better sign that thing.
You better opt in, buddy.
Opt in. You better learn how to opt in, buddy.
To $20 million.
Yeah, because that 2 guards these days. You see your buddy Cam Thomas in Brooklyn. You see Quentin Grimes, who I guess Philly fans just want him out of there. Come on, man. So yes, but you're right, Kyle. It's possible that he opts out and tests the market.
But Kuzma would be power forward, so Keegan could go back to the wing once they also move DeRozan. And
I mean, we always knew the Avengers, it was never going away. And Kyle Kuzma and the volleyball. I saw Brett Siegel brought up the volleyball thing again. The league that him and Vivek are behind.
It's almost like, hey, it's time to finally bring him home.
No. Seriously, though, 2026, look, you got Avengers Doomsday coming out, and Vivek said, I need my Avengers before Doomsday comes out.
So we got Kuzma. Jordan Poole's a free agent after this year.
Oh, my goodness. You already got DeMar and Levine. Now you add Kuzma.
Who else do we say was of Avengers?
What other Avengers are missing?
Bring back Buddy Hield.
No. Can't do that.
I mean, he was Steph Curry, Allen.
I don't know if Kuminga is an actual Avenger or he's just there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Right? You got to have
But
years.
I don't know if it's a Vivek thing or a Scott Perry thing.
But also, you got to be in this for years. Like, Kyle Kuzma got traded to the Kings 3 years ago and still has never played.
I don't know what we're doing with John Collins. Was he a Avenger?
That one, I think, counts. Cam Johnson was... Oh, the one that, again, it's not going to happen, but the one that I always laugh at is Matisse Thybulle.
Oh,
Just
my goodness.
Always going to be a King.
Yeah, was going to be a King until they never were. So, yeah, the Avengers, it was always going to happen. It was always going to happen, and it feels like that's where this thing is headed. Does it make a ton of sense for the Bucks? I mean, it depends. I mean, I like what Ryan Rollins is doing. You would add more scoring with Malik. You would lose some size, but maybe they feel like that's where they're missing. They need a pop off the bench. Maybe Malik, there's a starting conversation to be had with the Bucks, whatever is going on out there. But the Bucks are clearly, and you know what? I do think, to be fair though, Kyle, if you're not sure what Giannis is doing, hey brother, I can't give up both those guys and do a limbo game of Twister to get Zach LaVine if you're probably going to be out of here, even if Zach LaVine's only 2 years. I'd rather just go get Malik Monk. Maybe he gets hot in a down East year and give up Kyle Kuzma because he just is not what we need right now. And then you probably leave anyway. Malik would then only have 2 years left on his contract, very tradable at that point. So we did something, so everybody says, oh, they did something, but we also know you plan on leaving, so we're not going to put ourselves in a bad position.
We're not going to trade the 2 picks we have left to trade.
So, hey, we went out, we got Malik Monk, and we gave him an opportunity to cook, and, it got us to the 6th seed in the East, and we ended up losing, and now Giannis left, but we're going to get a haul for Giannis, and we're going to move Malik Monk, who's only got 2 years on his deal, and now we're off of Kyle Kuzma's contract. Bobby Portis would probably only have, a year or so left on his deal. Bobby Portis has 3 years, so Bobby Portis extremely tradable. So I do think it's a realistic, and everybody else is expiring because they only have 2-year deals on that roster. So I think that the Malik Monk thing makes more sense to me. Zach LaVine makes sense. I just don't know how they're going to get the money.
Right, because the reason to not do the Zach LaVine trade, which we kind of agree on, is it's not worth Kuzma and Bobby Portis, right? But when we're saying that out loud, the thing we're saying is it's not worth Bobby Portis.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So in this scenario where they compromise from Zach LaVine to Malik Monk, they're saying Malik Monk and Bobby Portis would be better for us than just Zach LaVine and nothing else. Which, yeah, that I understand why they would come to that conclusion. And they're looking at it like, oh, we can just trade Kuzma? Great. We hate Kuzma. Get rid of him. Great. Yeah. And if someone's willing to take him at that money, then great. So that's kind of the Milwaukee side of it, is they would rather keep Bobby Portis and add Malik Monk to whatever they're doing.
Yeah. And, it's funny. I'm just reading something now here, Kyle. It's from Lake Show Life. This is about the sweetener thing. And I don't know what the Kings would get back, but they're having a conversation, the Lakers, if in order to get Keon Ellis, would they also just bring back Malik Monk? I don't know what the Kings would get in that regard, but maybe that's how you get
Gabe Vincent, whatever. Just
and what, in a pick or something like that? Yeah. A protected first rounder, Gabe Vincent for Malik Monk and Keon Ellis.
I'm like, the Lakers got
throw in Dalton Connect too, and you got yourself a deal.
Oh, you want Dalton Connect?
No, you got yourself a deal.
I'd say the Lakers got $60 million in expiring contracts. They can find some money to make it work.
I think, the Lakers are in a position that's just not being talked about as much, where they want to at least make it seem as though they're giving LeBron the best chance, because it is over after this for LeBron, or it seems to be over after this for LeBron and his time in LA. So much lower. I think the whole thing is, if I'm the Lakers, and like you said, Kyle, a bunch of expiring contracts, you can build this thing through free agency, which is something that the Kings can't do. Why would you add Malik Monk with 2 years left on his contract? Why would you do that?
It depends what they want to do as the pivot.
I like Keon Ellis, but if I got a bunch of expirings, I don't know that you're not winning the West if you add Keon Ellis and Malik Monk.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are kind of one of those teams in the scenario where they don't need the salary filler, because if I'm like, let's say the other option is DeRozan, because they're not taking Zach LaVine. So the other option is DeRozan. What are the Lakers going to do with an offense of LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and DeMar DeRozan at this point?
Like, no, I don't know.
You're not. I mean, if you're getting him for nothing, you're getting him for nothing. But I just look at it from the Lakers' point. I'm just like, they just want Keon to be Marcus Smart. And if they can get Keon to be Marcus Smart, they feel like that's a bit of an upgrade.
Yeah, the Malik Monk piece of this is pretty simple. If I'm Scott Perry, I'm looking for positional need and less years. And as much as people don't want to talk about it, as much as people are tired of it, he is the number one Vavenger, and they do like volleyball and are connected in that volleyball endeavor. Kyle Kuzma fills both of those needs. Shorter contract, positional need. It's that simple. And we can look around the league, and obviously the Bucks are looking to improve their scoring. We can look around the association and ask the question, who are other teams like that, or who are other players like that? And you can find them, but again, it takes two to tango. Is there another team that has that? And look, it's a priority list. If it has to be a positional need. You can't bring in another guard, right?
John Collins.
Unless it's straight up expiring. Okay, that's the one thing I would say, but it better be a bigger guard. So if I'm Scott Perry, the pick that you're not getting any picks for Malik, at least not first rounder. So if I'm looking, my priority list number one would probably be knowing them, shorter contract, because this thing is headed towards a rebuild anyway. Number two would be positional need. So if I could get a guard on an expiring contract, hey, take our CJ McCollum, right? Not that the Wizards would want to do this, but for example, take CJ McCollum, we'll take Malik Monk. I would do it. I would do it. I know we don't want the logjam, but I'll take 3 more months of a logjam for an expiring contract versus, we got Bobby Portis on 3 years. Okay, well, what's Bobby Portis doing? It just depends on what the Kings are trying to solve. And I think what they're trying to solve is the logjam, but also everybody is trying to get their money right. And I think that's probably just as important as the former. By the way, Scott Perry, Monday Motivation, sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. It's a short one. I don't know. Is that about Maxime Reynaud? Okay, is that about Dylan Cardwell? Who is that about? All right, let's talk some logistics. January 15th, that seems to be the date that we're waiting for to possibly see a move. We'll tell you why that is and who becomes available. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
The clock is ticking. This holiday season, give the gift they'll really love. A new Honda from Northern California's best Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Happy Honda Days are happening right now. Score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas, all at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here.
starts in Honda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Weekend escape to bucket list adventure. Plan your trip at the Sportsman's Expo. This is the region's greatest selection of outdoor travel. California, the West, Alaska to Mexico, Canada to South Africa. Outfitters, guides, lodges, and destinations. Your chance to meet the experts who'll make your trip unforgettable. California's largest sportsman's travel event is back, January 15th through 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Details at sportsexpos.com.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITVFest.com.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Daniel Tosh, My First Farewell Tour, Saturday, January 24th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley.
This is how I come up with material. I rant to my friends and my family, my inner circle, and when they hate every word coming out of my mouth, I know it's ready.
Saturday, January 24th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. On sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss your chance to see Daniel Tosh.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. We are talking Malik Monk and the Bucks interested. They're interested in everybody, according to James Collier. Interested in Zach LaVine, but I would say that Malik could be just viewed as a lesser Zach LaVine. They're all kind of in this same realm of two guard that can score, defense, somewhat optional, even though I think both guys are really give a lot of effort on defense. I do. I think sometimes they might forget to do that, but I think their heart's in the right place, right? I think their heart's in the right place. So you're looking at somebody, Zach LaVine is at about 50 mil to Malik's 20. So you got 30 million less. You do have an extra year on Malik, but 30 million less. Malik, I'll be honest, I mean, one thing that you haven't talked about the same way, but yeah, Malik is at 12 points per game. Zach LaVine's at 20. Malik at 2 rebounds. Zach LaVine at 3. Malik at 2.3 assists. Zach LaVine at 2.3 assists. Zach LaVine at 38% from 3. Malik is actually at 40% from 3. And obviously, Zach LaVine's a better player. He's getting paid $30 million more. Okay. And the other part is availability. We're not that far removed from Zach LaVine just unable to play basketball. And he's been dinged up a little bit. Malik's at 27 games. Zach LaVine's at 23. They've both kind of been played with as far as their playing time, and Zach LaVine not closing. Malik having Chris Haynes report that he has been leapfrogged to the world. So, I think if you're the Bucks, that extra year doesn't really scare me because I do believe that teams are all. Look at Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson is doing the Lord's work for these guys because he's on a minimum deal right now. I get it; he's making less than Malik, but there is clearly a need for scorers. You don't have to pay them what they were getting paid, like Jordan Poole in that ridiculous contract. But the Cam Thomases, the Malik Monks, guys like that, you do need scores. Everybody can't be a 6'8", 3-and-D that can't really dribble, right? You can't just have a whole team of that. That's what the league is really trying to get to, but you can't have a whole team of that. So there is a function, and I think Jordan Clarkson is doing a dang good job for the Malik Monks of the world and guys like that. And the Bucks, if you don't want to pay that premium, or if you can't really afford that premium for Zach LaVine, just go get Malik. That extra year doesn't scare you because, it's $20 million. I think it's a smidge pricey, but nothing crazy for a team that is going to be looking for scoring. And depending on what you get back, maybe you just, you get through that next year. You do the Brooklyn Nets thing where you let Malik get his numbers right on a bad team after Giannis leaves, and then somebody goes and gets Malik when there's a year and a half left. So I don't think which is not going to happen with Kyle Kuzma. I mean, that's just not going to happen. Not necessarily because he stinks, but also that's just not the functionality of his game. It's harder for Kyle Kuzma to raise his value. I think Malik Monk can raise his value. So I would do the deal. I think both sides should do the deal. And do I think it keeps Giannis from leaving? No, but I don't really think that's what the Bucks are trying to do. They just want it to look like they're trying to keep Giannis from leaving because they know Giannis is going to leave. So I think it's that simple to me.
This is kind of a mean way to phrase it, but in a way, Kyle Kuzma would become $20 million Kevin Love on the Jazz.
Yeah.
Like, he plays, but it's also kind of like...
He would do more than Kevin Love.
But Kevin Love's playing like 20 minutes a game sometimes.
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't know how that happens on the Jazz team that has like 9 guys that are 6'9" or taller, but he does.
Yeah, well, they'll probably get investigated for that. The other thing, as no real moves have happened, the other thing we wanted to lay out to you is the January 15th date that we might all just be waiting on. This is from CBS Sports. Most free agents can be traded on December 15th. However, a small group has to wait an extra month. Those are the free agents who re-sign with their original team using bird or early bird rights, make more than the minimum, and who got a raise greater than 20% over their salary from last season. That list includes 11 players: Josh Giddey, Jonathan Kuminga, Naz Reid, Santi Aldama, Davion Mitchell, Quentin Grimes, Sam Merrill, Trey Mann, Isaiah Jackson, Paul Reed, and Ryan Rollins. Now, I just don't think you trade Ryan Rollins for anything in regards to Malik Monk, because even if you don't know that Ryan Rollins will be Malik Monk, the brother's 23. So if you're going to have to restart this thing, I'm not saying that the Bucks are going anywhere restarting their organization with Ryan Rollins. What I'm saying is you have to see, right? You have to keep some of your young players. So obviously the name that sticks out there is Kuminga Watch has really cooled off here. But Jonathan Kuminga is that name. The Warriors, they've kind of been hot and cold, struggling a little bit, still trying to get Trey Murphy or somebody. And
it's kind of funny how these things go, right? Because at first it was like, see, Kuminga's not playing. And now the Warriors fans are like, see, Malik Monk's not playing.
Yeah. And I had somebody reach out after the Keon thing, the Keon really good game. And then I said, hey, if Keon has a good game in LA, you never know. This protected first-round pick might be a thing, or a late first-round pick might be a thing. Then I had somebody chime in, say, are you guys still interested in Kuminga? Right? Because now Warriors fans, they don't know what the deal is with Kuminga, and they're just ready to be done because they've been struggling a little bit. But, yeah, those are the names that are available. I don't know how much it really affects the Kings per se, besides Kuminga. Naz Reid, it feels like a good deal for the Timberwolves. You can't really move on there. I think Julius Randle might be their next pivot before a Naz Reid. Santi Aldama is interesting, but the Grizzlies aren't doing anything this season. Quentin Grimes at $8.7 million. Sorry, brother. Just nobody wants you there. Davion Mitchell, I think, is interesting at 11.6, not necessarily for the Kings, just in general. But, yeah, those are a couple more names The Bulls obviously are powering through and trying to build something with Josh Giddey, but he's sitting there at $25 million. So yeah, the reason that date is important is just because all cards will be on the table, and the later you get into the season, you start staring at that trade deadline and the All-Star break in the face. That's when teams have to start making decisions. Right now in December, you could argue a lot of them are still feeling it out. There's enough time to make a run. Once you hit January, and January 15th, that's mid-January, the season starts to really, really speed up here, and you got to make some decisions quite quickly.
Well, and everybody's in this holding pattern on Giannis. Not necessarily that everyone's going to get Giannis, but if Giannis goes to the Knicks, all of a sudden your calculation is going to change on what you're trying to trade for going into the deadline. Or, maybe there's players that were available that you didn't think were available before because the Bucks are trying to offload whatever contracts they get back for Giannis. So everyone's kind of stuck in that hole. Well, not everyone, but a bunch of teams are stuck in that holding pattern of waiting to see if Giannis is going to get traded.
Yeah, even if you're not in on Giannis, or you just don't think because Giannis is going to have a level of control, it still affects your ability to do anything because other teams might not be picking up the phone because they are, they're all just kind of waiting it out. 916-329-1140. Let's get to Dwayne. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Dwayne? What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, the homies, man? Happy holidays. Happy New Year, you guys.
Same to you. Same to you.
My main problem is Christie, bro. I love Christie as a guy. I love him as a player, but not as a coach because it's just still all over the place, bro. All of a sudden, Doug McDermott is getting in, bro. Dario Saric was playing a couple weeks ago. Keon, all of a sudden, is in the starting lineup. Monk comes in last night, bro, and starts casting. This guy plays 19 minutes, takes 10 shots, and 9 of them are threes. So I think it's not happening quickly enough because these other GMs are probably trying to fleece Vivek. And not Vivek, but Perry. One thing about Perry, he don't get fleeced. He fleeces.
Yeah.
So this might go on for a while, bro. This might go on who knows how long. And I'm with you, Alan. My problem is I think this should be happening quickly, but Perry's not going to let anybody take advantage of him.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Dwayne. And he shouldn't. Ultimately, this season is a bit of a mulligan, right, as far as what the expectations are. You brought me into a team with a bunch of bad contracts. No disrespect. Y'all get your money. It's guaranteed. De'Aaron Fox told us. But outside of that, I'm not going to do any bad deals to rush something by what? A couple months, a season, right? Doing a bad deal just to get off of a contract is how you kind of got into this situation to begin with. At this point, I've said it time and time again. Zach LaVine, he's going to opt in. That's just one more season, right? It's just one more season, and it's much more tradable, even at that AAV at $49 million. It's much more tradable that way. Domantas Sabonis, he's got to get his value right. He's got to get his body right, his mind right. He's got to get all that right. And then after that, he'll only have 2 more years going into next season. He'll be in the situation that Zach LaVine is in right now. So there's, as much as it stinks, that's why we're sitting here talking about a Dylan Cardwell and Maxime Reynaud. As much as, it's not sexy or the most fun thing to discuss, that's just how good business should be done. I'd rather discuss this than discuss a bad deal like what the previous regime did, whether that was on them or if they got marching orders. That's just the reality. We have some news here that everybody is doing the rock eyebrow to. It is a suspicious injury with somebody that's been talked about a ton in regards to the future of him and the team that he's currently on. We will tell you who that is and what the injury is when we return. Now on South Sactown Sports.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days. At Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get behind the wheel of your new Accord or Civic today. Own or lease during Happy Honda Days at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone.
Where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Get discount coupons at Big O Tire Stores and Papa Murphy's. Visit sportsexpos.com for location, show map, exhibitor listing, and seminar schedules. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 15th through 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
So you can do with this information what you want, but it's funny, we had it slated to talk Hawks in this segment anyway, the Atlanta Hawks, and how they are clearly open for business. So I'm going to take you down the rabbit hole. First, this is from Mark Stein as it pertains to Trae Young. Who the Hawks are 0-6 since adding Trae Young back, and which is a complete disaster, right? This is exactly what the Hawks, well, I don't know if it's a disaster, but it makes it very clear that this thing isn't going to work. They wanted to see why it would work. I mean, I know myself, I said, hey, the Hawks kind of need a point guard, right? Dyson Daniels isn't really a point guard. I know they've been running Jalen Johnson doing the big guard thing, but hey, don't they need Trae Young to get back? Well, they're 0-6 since. This is from Mark Stein. There is a growing belief league-wide that the Hawks are more open to trading Trae Young away than they've ever been, but what happens to their payroll if no such trade materializes and Young winds up exercising that option? Can the Hawks dare to find out by trading for Davis this winter without Young exiting at the same time? Then, after that, you had another report from Tim McMahon saying the Hawks certainly are indicating that they are looking for the exit ramp with Trae Young. They did not make any attempt to get him signed to an extension. When that's the case with your face of the franchise, that's a pretty clear message that the end could be near. Now, I bring you to 30 minutes ago, where it is now being reported. This is from Brett Siegel. The Hawks say Trae Young has, and this is The wording is on purpose, right? This is from our guy, Brett. The Hawks say Trae Young has popped up on the injury report with and then he has it in quotes, right quad contusion injury and will not play tonight against the Thunder. Now everyone is doing the Windhorse fingers and the rock eyebrows because does that mean they have something in the works, or are they in the midst of kind of not shutting him down, but kind of limiting how much he plays? Because here's the other thing. If they ain't winning, that doesn't make Trae Young look good, right? So you talk about building value. Are they pseudo shutting him down and about to get sued or fined by the NBA? What's going on here? But how Brett is kind of alluding means that this is not and first of all, a contusion, I mean, that's essentially just a bruise, right? So this is not something that people probably recall happening in the last game that the Hawks played. All these reports are coming out, and now all of a sudden Trae Young is not playing tonight. There you go.
So here's what's so fascinating is because the only way to trade for Trae Young is you think he is worth a $48 million player, essentially.
And real quick, the Jake Weinbach guy that I think is very similar to Evan Sidery, he just has better PR than Evan Sidery, and he's just better at asking questions. No, he is. I'd have him on to talk to him just to see, but he just asks questions and he doesn't actually say anything. So first of all, he had a terrible trade that we'll get into a little bit later, but he also said the Kings might be interested in Trae Young. This is just his opinion. He's just saying random bleep. And Dave immediately quote tweeted him and said, the Kings do not have interest in Trae Young, which is what they told us in the summer. But go ahead, Kyle.
So the Trae Young thing is fascinating because, like they mentioned, he has that player option for next year. If it gets to the point where he's essentially holding the barrel over the Hawks of what they want to do next by having that player option, this thing could get ugly if they hold him past the trade deadline. And we've talked about this with all the guys, whether it was Kuminga or John Morant or Giannis or Jimmy Butler last year. Your willingness to make it ugly is your ticket out, right? If you're trying to force your way out of somewhere, and it doesn't seem like Trae Young has to force his way out of here.
But teams wanted those guys, though. I don't know about Jimmy. I don't know how Jimmy has better value than. And by the way, it was just ridiculous extension. I have to caveat it every time from the Warriors. But I don't know how, but it feels like Jimmy had more value than Trae Young does right now.
But it feels like Trae Young has that same power because of him being the former franchise star. Like, he's got the power to, eject this whole Young experiment that the Hawks have by threatening to make it ugly. And it's weird that Trae Young has that kind of power, but the longer this thing drags on, if Trae Young flips from, oh, you're trying to trade me? Well, guess what? I want to leave now, and I'm going to be public about I want to leave. He's got the chance to nuke this thing for Atlanta because he can hold them over the barrel with that player option in the summer.
And let me just say this. Right now. They're both 2 years left, right? If you think that Jalen Johnson is going to do more of the point guard work, then Zach LaVine wouldn't have to. I know they got 8,000 guards already, but Russell Westbrook would be gone. Dennis Schroeder, you just trade him. I would probably rather see 2 years of Trae Young than Zach LaVine. I'm not opposed to that. See, hey, Sabonis, does this point guard work? Let's find out.
Sacramento, yes. Atlanta, they're like, we're getting the same thing from Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
I don't know, though. I mean,
Atlanta's not taking Zach LaVine. I know we tried to make that trade happen.
I'm just telling you, if Atlanta really feels stuck and they don't need a dominant point guard, it's honestly a more expensive version of the Kyle Kuzma, right? The Kyle Kuzma, Malik Monk conversation. That's what this is.
Right, but their whole thing is that they've got so many guards right now. Like, there was even the report today that they might be out on Reece Shea, and he's 20.
That. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so what they need, and they've talked about this a bit, what they need is a long-term solution at the big man position. Maybe that's Anthony Davis. I wouldn't say Anthony Davis is my first choice at this stage of his career.
Well, that's your boy, so.
But again, Anthony Davis more tall man, right? We have big man, tall man situation here. They need a long-term solution at the big man position. They tried to stopgap it with Porzingis. Doesn't seem like that's going to lead to anything significant. Like some people were saying, well, the Hawks could be a top 4 seed this year if everything goes right. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. No. But they need a long-term solution at the big man position, and if Trae Young can be used to get that, then I think you move Trae Young.
But again, you just added Kyrie. I think there are just a lot of moving parts, right? If you are the Mavs, do you just move Kyrie? Kyrie is 33, and Trae is 27. Do you say, hey, man, we're going to get, something back besides, because I don't know who's got, Anthony Davis clearly has more value. So if you say, hey, we'll take Trae, we know you don't want him, we'll do the Anthony Davis deal. Anthony Davis more expensive and more years, so I don't know what the Mavericks would get back besides Trae. Then you got to move Kyrie.
Well, again,
you cannot run those two together. Bro.
Trae Young and Kyrie? The defense would be bad.
Oh, my goodness. It'd be 170 to 180 every game.
I think Mavericks fans would be kind of upset if they went from Luka to Trae Young, but they have to ask themselves: is Cooper Flagg a point guard or is Cooper Flagg?
He's not a point guard. Can we stop with that?
Jalen Johnson is. Anyone can.
Yeah, they're trying to do the thing. Yeah, the Denny thing, right? But Luka. There's big guards, and then there's the thing, right? So, is it a big Kate Cunningham, big guard? Luka, big guard. Jalen Johnson, the thing. Denny Avdia, the thing. Yeah. Right? Who else? Paolo. Who, by the way, Paolo Banchero, he might be in Sacramento. That dude is getting cooked. They're saying he's got the worst contract in the league on a team that has Jalen Suggs. That's what they're saying.
You hate Jalen Suggs.
Because he's not good. But that's besides the point. You got these big guards, and then you got the thing. And if you're wondering, Allen, what's the thing? The thing is this point forward thing. And I don't think, when I watch Cooper Flagg, I just don't think you need to do the thing with him.
But this is kind of like, and again, this is the thing that we were playing that clip last week of the guy that said the NBA is ruined because everything's homogenized. But this is the thing now is if you've got a guy who can score at all 3 levels, they should probably be handling the ball, which makes you a point guard. Even if you don't want to call them point guard by name, they're kind of a point guard. Because the other guys just got to sit around and shoot. You need a big, you need a point guard, and 3 dudes that can shoot. And the funny thing about the Hawks is Jalen Johnson, they're doing the thing. They got a bunch of shooters, but they have no big. They got Porzingis. So they're trying to find the big to complement everything else they've now built.
Would you? Hold on. Would you do Zach LaVine and a future first for Trae Young and Zachary Reese-Sachet?
If I'm the Kings?
If you're the Kings.
What kind of future first are we talking about?
Not a great one.
Well, then yes. But why would the Hawks do that?
Well, I'm saying if the Hawks think that Reese-Sachet's cooked, right? And they're trying to.
Which, by the way, they don't.
They do. They do. I saw something that said, it must be so hard to be Reese-Sachet when you know you're not good. The team knows you're not good, but they got to keep running you out there anyway.
Because you were the number 1 pick.
Maybe it's just a bad fit, right? There's some redundancy there. If you say, hey, we're done with Reese-Sachet, right?
He's still 20.
We're done with him. It's not me saying it, it's the Hawks. We're done with him. And by the way, if you think I'm crazy, this just came out again. This is from Steinlein. It is also increasingly believed that Atlanta is willing to surrender Zachary Reese-Sachet in the proverbial right scenario, since the number 1 overall pick in the draft just 18 months ago has not developed as the Hawks would have hoped to at this point. Yet, even if the Hawks are prepared to package Reese-Sachet with the expiring contracts held by Porzingis and Luke Kennard for Davis, it is unclear how much additional draft compensation they will be willing or able to add to the deal to convince the Mavericks to part with Davis in season. There's a Sabonis conversation here. I'm just trying to figure out what that conversation is.
Yeah, it's just the contract and the value as he can't play right now because he's hurt.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. I think there is a Sabonis conversation, and then you go get Reese-Sachet, but you probably have to take Trae Young.
But if you're the Kings, to what end? Then you have Trae Young, Zach LaVine.
Hey, is he an Avenger?
Who?
Trae Young.
No, I don't think so.
Not yet.
Not yet. But again, then what? Keegan's still going to be the 4? And we have no Maxime?
No. That team is stupid, but it's only stupid for a couple months is my point.
I'm not going to lie, Alan. I'm not willing to sell my soul for Reese Sachet.
No, me neither. Me neither. I'm just saying, what, number 1 overall pick? So I'm just saying, in theory, make them silhouettes. Hey, you're going to trade Domantas Sabonis for a 2020 what? 2023?
Yeah, last year, 24.
Number 1 overall pick, and because the Hawks think he stinks,
no,
you won't do it.
The other side of that coin is if he's their number 1 pick and they're willing to trade him, he must be turbo bleep.
No. He must be like him, Anthony Bennett,
Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz, by the way, did you see what Anthony Black did over these past couple days? It's happening. So everybody who wanted to, what were the trades? Alan, won't they give us Anthony Black? They were just waiting.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan.
The streets are saying Anthony Black and Franz Wagner are going to get Paolo out the paint.
With Jalen Suggs.
Paolo, and, everyone's saying that's Cam Boozer. So you got to be careful there. All right, 12 o'clock hour coming up next. We're having some fun. And, speaking of having fun, it feels like we're to the point where we know where this is all at with the Kings. It's still a weird feeling, but the path for the Kings and the rumor mill is hot. What we think is going to happen and what we expect to happen in the coming weeks. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callammaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you're a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
530 says, any chance Russ is here longer than just this year? Would he be a good piece to hold on to for the next couple of years while they build the rest of the roster up? I don't hate it, but I can't do him and Schroeder is the one on contract. Because I do think that they will try to acquire a young point guard. I don't know if that's through the draft. I don't know. I'm not saying that's who they would take if they would take Darren Peterson. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but I do believe that they will either try to get a young point guard or do the thing, right? Do the big guard, do the wing that can handle the basketball thing, right? Because LeBron kind of started this. As Kyle, you brought up Cooper Flagg, and I don't see Cooper Flagg the same way. But yeah, Cooper Flagg a better ball handler than Paolo. If Paolo's doing it, then Cooper, they can do it. I'm not saying that he can't. And to your point, Kyle, you can't bring in, I think that's the problem now with Trae Young, a very unique problem. So you have an issue with two guards because they're not point guards, right? You have an issue there. You have an issue with Trae Young because all these contenders are doing the big point forward thing, and Trae Young needs the ball too much. So point guards are in a weird position where if you are a smaller point guard, you have a little bit more value than the smaller two guards, but you ain't getting paid $50 million no more.
Well, that's why, all the nerds that, of course I am one of, they don't even use the term point guard, shooting guard like that anymore. It's primary ball handler, secondary ball handler, which honestly the modern two guard is moving towards, yes, we want you to shoot on the wing and defend, but we do need you to have a little bit of dribble to it, right? Like in the finals last year, the Thunder couldn't have Shea handle the ball all the time, so they would stagger Jalen Williams' ball handling with Shea ball handling. Now, I think Jalen Williams is kind of the modern two, where it's like he can shoot, he can dribble straight and drive, he can play some defense. It's kind of like Stephon Castle and Dyson Daniels, too. Those are kind of the archetypes for the modern two in the NBA, where you can dribble just enough to get by. Dyson Daniels can't shoot, but they're hoping he can shoot and defend, right? That's kind of what you're looking for to pair alongside a point forward, point guard, whatever you want to call it.
And the other thing is, too, is now that everybody switches, when you get to the playoffs, you can't get hunted. And I think for as good as Trae Young is, everyone is saying, well, brother, they're just going to hunt you, right? Steph is a little bit bigger than Trae Young. I think he gives a lot of, effort for sure. And Steph is just better. But even on defense, they've tried to kind of, put Steph in bad situations, and he's kind of powered through. But even Steph, if he were to come out now, I mean, he would still be Steph Curry. But, people are hyper focused on that in the playoffs. So the Trae Young thing, if you are not a switchable player, I think Steph is just a little bit bigger than Trae Young and does enough to get by defensively. And same with Kyrie, right? Steph, Kyrie, like that's the limit. If you're any smaller than those guys, it makes it really tough in the playoffs specifically. And you better be on a good defensive team that can cover you. The Hawks are a good defensive team, and they still can't cover for Trae Young. So that's a problem. So, his value is very confusing right now with these bigger guards and bigger players in general that are handling the basketball. And yeah, if you're the Mavs, you're saying, yeah, cool, it'd be nice to have Trae Young, but you can't run him with Kyrie. And honestly, Cooper is going to have the ball in his hands. We want Cooper to have the ball in his hands. It's the same thing, Kyle, not the same thing, but similar as the two hitter in baseball being the new three hitter, right? And just moving your best hitters up in the lineup. Hey, we want a couple guys on base when the three hitter comes up. It's not, that used to be the thing, but now, no, we just want Shohei Ohtani to get 6 at-bats. How about that? We want Aaron Judge to get 6 at-bats. That makes more sense to us than the RBI portion. We just want our good hitters up as much as possible.
I'm thinking about this now as we talk about all these point guards that are just like 7 through 15. We all agree they're kind of like, they're all Jamal Murray's and Trae Young's, and some are better than the others some days, and they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
Is Trae Young's future in the league as a true ball handler? Because that's his best skill set, but if everyone across the league is like, yeah, I don't know about that, like, where does Trae Young go next?
Yeah, you know what's so funny? Because we just had this conversation about rebounds, and I remember somebody literally MFing me on the text line when I said Trae Young was hunting assists. Obviously, being a playmaker is tough, and not everyone can do it. But again, it does feel like the assist thing is not as, I don't want to say important, but hey, we need somebody that can go off for 11 assists. It feels like there's just more players in the league doing more things. So Trae, it's cool that you average 11 assists, but we got guys like Denny Avdia is averaging 7 assists, and he can also defend because of his size, and he can score, and he can do all that. There's just more guys that can do more. So these specialist type players, it's a problem, right? Unless you are Steph Curry and what you specialize in, you're basically Barry Bonds, right? But everybody else, all these Trae Youngs and guys, well, you're really good at things that are not aging out, but yeah, Trae, cool, you average 11 assists. Well, Cooper Flag can get to 8 a game and do way more. We don't need that. We don't need you to have the bag work, and we don't need you to hunt for 15 assists. That's not helping winning basketball. You know how I know that?
I don't need you to have the bag work.
You know how I know that? Because you're not winning.
See, this is the tough thing, though, because, like, if you put Trae Young with Giannis, I think that would work as him as a number 2. But outside of that, there's only but so many, like, big men that can be your number 1s on offense.
But that's what I said. I said Bucks should go get him.
Yeah.
I said the Bucks should go get him. I think that makes more sense than Zach LaVine to me.
Yeah, because they don't have a true point guard at this point.
That's what they were supposed to do with Dame, and it just didn't work out. So try it again with Trae Young. That makes the most sense to me. But outside of that, all these other teams, all these teams are looking for these bigger guys that are going to handle the ball anyway. So I don't think that he would be off-ball Kyle, but he would have the ball a lot less. And I know he can get his floater game going, but Trae Young, they were saying the same thing about Steph, and Steph is 10 times better than Trae Young. Trae Young can go get you a bucket. What can Trae Young do for you? And I like Trae Young, but Trae, we need you to get a bucket. You can't get a bucket.
Trae's got to work on a team with an elite big.
Yeah.
Who can also not handle the ball, but can be ball dominant.
You know what makes sense to me? And again, it's just same flavor, different color. I think maybe he'd make more sense, and I know the Cavs are trying to get off the money. Maybe he'd make more sense than Darius Garland, because Trae, the way he plays, he truly does not care about scoring. That's how he's been playing these last couple of years. So are the Cavs better with Trae Young than Darius Garland? I don't know, maybe. But the problem is now they're saying Donovan Mitchell has to do too much. So I don't know if Trae coming in to hunt 10 assists a night helps Donovan Mitchell. I don't know.
Yeah, we're doing different flavors of the same thing. This was why Trae, all those undersized guards were connected to the Spurs before De'Aaron Fox got traded there. It was like, oh, Trae Young could go to the Spurs. Darius Garland could go to the Spurs. It's like, because Wemby is a perfect pairing for one of those point guards that you don't need to be your number 1 scorer. The problem is, to your point, there's only a handful of those in the league, right? It's Evan Mobley, it's Wemby, it's Giannis.
And Mobley, people are saying they expected more of a leap. Yeah. He really hasn't. The Cavs are like the 9 seed.
Yeah, there's only so many of those that I think you could put Trae Young or Darius Garland or one of those guys on a team and say that team is a championship contender.
Yeah.
Now, again, one of those same point guards we always talk about, De'Aaron Fox, goes to San Antonio, and San Antonio looks like a championship contender because you have Wemby.
I also think that decisions that teams make and wanting to do the thing when maybe they shouldn't do the thing is very important. So in theory, before the Desmond Bane deal and others, I think in theory, Trae Young to the Magic would have made sense. He can shoot, he can distribute. But they wanted to do the thing with Paolo, and they wanted him to handle the rock, and that's kind of where they've went. And I don't know, if that was the right decision. And now, so they got shooters around Paolo to be LeBron James, but spoiler alert, he's not LeBron James.
No.
So that's a problem. But in theory, I think Trae could have helped the Magic. They just wanted to go more new age, and they kind of took a gamble on a guy who is plateauing a little bit. And, and that's the thing about the Cam Boozer types. They're bruising and they're bigger than everyone, and you just don't know how they're going. And I think Paolo is probably a more gifted scorer than Boozer is right now.
This is why the modern NBA is kind of boxing some teams in, not because there isn't room for creativity, but at this point, all the numbers are telling you this is the way to win, right? When the Beam team had the number one offense in NBA history, it's like you got dude who can handle the point guard, ball dominant center who can handle the ball a little bit, and 3 shooters. And you can have the best offense, most efficient in NBA history. And all these teams, even though they have different skill sets, are kind of being boxed into that because you will lose to the teams that have Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and just a bunch of shooters who play defense.
Oh, and I watched more Peyton Watson this weekend. Oh, my goodness. Find a way. Just find a way. Not Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but Jaden McDaniels is such a good example of this. Just take a chance on the lanky dude that's good at defense and can kind of shoot.
Which, again, same idea. Anthony Edwards isn't a traditional point guard, but guess what? You watch that Timberwolves offense, and they don't need a point guard because Anthony Edwards looks pretty point guardy.
Yeah, and Dante, hey, it's going to be Dante. And it's not really Dante, but he's there.
But Dante's a shooting guard because Ant is your primary ball handler. So again, all these teams are being boxed into the same situations because the league is just telling you, hey, there's a formula for success, and if you try to deviate from that, you're probably going to lose to the teams that are running that formula.
Yeah, with all that being said, let's get more King specific here. And I was talking to Chris Watkins. He sent a text to the Roundtable group chat, and he said, I'm on social media, and it doesn't even feel like you wouldn't even know the Kings were playing. And, yeah, Kings-Lakers still has a little bit of juice these days. Now, there was a huge Niners game being played with first place on the line, the number 1 seed on the line. But, yeah, it was very quiet on that front, and then the Kings went out there and laid an egg, so that didn't help. But I do feel like we are at the point where when you get a cut, right, and it's scabbing, right, then when the scab is coming off and it just doesn't hurt anymore, that's kind of where we're at, right? Maybe, not to get too graphic here, but maybe it hurts a little bit, but it's pretty much healed, right? We're just waiting for the scab to be gone and for it to scar up, and that will be the rebuild, essentially. And we're to the point now where everybody knows what this is, right? Kyle, like the box score, and obviously it was not a great game from the Kings, but we know what this is. The Kings have just decided we will not be healthy at all this season. We will never be at full strength. We're just not going to do it. I don't know why they made that decision, but feels like they have made a pact in that locker room. We're just not going to play at full strength all season long. And now you kind of know what this is, right? Russ is going to break. He broke another record. Good for him. The assist record. He broke a couple records. DeMar DeRozan broke his records. Cool. Besides that, let's see what Keon can do. Let's see what Maxime Reynaud can do. Precious Achiuwa is playing for a contract somewhere. Dylan Cardwell is going to pump up the crowd. Dennis Schroeder is just existing. Malik Monk is just existing. And Nick Clifford, let's see if we can get him somewhere. And that's pretty much it, Kyle. That's pretty much it. You know what you're getting. Fine. This is where we're headed. What are they got a game tomorrow, right? I think there might be more Celtics fans in the building. Or I shouldn't say that, but I think there'll be a lot of Celtics fans in the building on New Year's Day. As the Kings, they just kind of, they are who they are. The crowd pop is great. I still think you're going to get a lot from the best fans in the NBA, but they're headed to LA. Who is rushing home from work Especially, it's the Peacock game at 8 o'clock. I mean, who's rushing home from work to watch that game, man?
The Kings and the Clippers.
Like, we know what this is. It's just more of the same. Look, and we're going to talk about Maxime Reynaud because, I think you see Ivica Zubac. Maybe he could be an Ivica Zubac type. But, Kings, Clippers, I don't know. Clippers are trying to figure it out. Kawhi,
I don't know. They won 4 in a row, Allen.
They won 4 in a row.
DeRozan trade still on the table?
That's what you're hoping for. After that, you get the Clippers. You host the Celtics. I don't like that one just because they're Boston, and I know they did get Boston last season in that. It was kind of a fluke.
The Devin Carter game?
Yeah, we admit that was a fluke.
The 7-game win streak?
Not that.
Just that specific part.
Specific game was fluky to beat the brakes off the Celtics with no De'Aaron Fox. And that was when I shut up about Devin Carter.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That was it.
By the way, you were talking about the scab and everything else, just of this whole weird situation that we're in.
Yeah.
I was working the game on Saturday, and G-Man mentioned, by the way, it's officially been 1 year since Mike Brown was fired and Doug Christie took over as the interim coach. I was like, that can't be it. That was 8 years ago. That cannot be only 1 year ago.
Yeah, it was December. Jaden Ivey.
God, that feels literally like 8 years ago. I'm a young person, and I feel like I've lost years of my life since then.
This is what you're paying attention to. The Celtics, the Clippers, you're kind of rooting for the Clippers because you want them to. You're rooting for the Clippers and you're rooting for DeMar to go off for like 40. That's what you're rooting for tomorrow. The Celtics, whatever. New Year's Day, hello, 2026. Phoenix, whatever. Got to go to Club Phoenix. After that, though, Kyle, you get Milwaukee. You host Milwaukee. It would be nice for Zach. Well, I guess Zach LaVine might be back by then.
I don't know, Allen. I don't know what Zach LaVine. I don't know what's going on with the Zach LaVine.
Zach
injury.
LaVine might be back for a little bit of a tryout there. Or Malik Monk, have a good Malik Monk game. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at these as games. I'm looking at these strategically as opportunities to end this roster. That's what I'm looking. How can we end? I needed Keon to go off. Not that I want to lose Keon, but Keon going off for 20 last night against the Lakers would have been great. That would have been really nice.
Every day is one more opportunity to get closer to death.
Yeah. Now, after that, the Mavericks, they stink. But after that, Kyle, you are at Golden State. Who do I need in that game?
Kuminga?
Well, sure.
Kuminga to not play.
You need Malik and Keon. I know they're not interested in really Malik, but look, I'll still hold out hope for the DeMar thing. Sabonis still won't be back. So after that, Houston, give me a Keon game, and Tari Eason, make that happen. Like, that's how I'm looking at these. Then you get the Lakers again, January 12th. Come on, Keon, we need you. That's how I'm looking at these games,
just which player can ball out so we can trade them to that team.
Which player is connect? Yeah. Each opponent, what are the rumors that we're hearing about the opponent? I wish they could play the Bucks 5 times in the next 2 weeks.
So you're essentially treating these games like Pokemon battles where it's like if you lose, you get to take the other person's Pokemon.
No, literally.
Like if you can best the Kings or if Keon Ellis can best you, you can take our Keon Ellis.
That's what we need. That's what we need. Because at this point, when Zach and Sabonis come back, I don't know what this thing is going to be. I don't know what week we're at with Sabonis. To be honest with you, I'm not even checking for that, right? At this point, when I see him, I see it. For both of them. Because, honestly, we're accomplishing more with them not playing. Can I say that?
I don't know what we're accomplishing while doing it. But
they were going to lose either way. So at least Maxime's getting reps and Keon's getting more time and Neek's getting more time.
I mean, they beat the Mavericks.
Yeah, no,
wire to wire.
I'm not saying you're not going to lose every game, but you are accomplishing more as far as the future is concerned with these guys on the bench. And it's a lot of money. It is what? Your 2 highest players aren't playing. This is how you know you're in a bleeped up situation. Your two highest paid players aren't playing.
Well, now technically 3 because Keegan.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Keegan getting injured, this is really not... this is not how we drew it up.
Those calf strains, Allen.
No, literally. They're going to get you one way or the other. Okay? But
so, yeah, technically, I mean, it's not this year, but technically your 3 highest paid players in guaranteed money are out.
But even with just Sabonis and Zach, your 2 highest, this is how you know you're in a jacked up situation. Your 2 highest paid players aren't playing and people are happier.
Some people are happier.
Sure. Yes.
I think the people who would not be happier have already checked out.
Well, I think the people who would not be happier are season ticket holders. And by the way, can we just keep it a buck? I know anything could have happened, but if you are a season ticket holder, you kind of knew, right? I mean, maybe you didn't know it'd be this bad, but you kind of knew what you were signing up for.
No, I won't do this again because we did so many episodes where you were like 36.5. That is disrespectful.
No. I said, well, it was at the time, but I said, Kyle, even with that being said, 36, that doesn't even get you in the play, and I think we had decided.
Yes.
So.
And now we're on pace for 26.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you knew there wasn't going to be a deep playoff run. You didn't know it'd be this, but you knew it was probably going to be a bad team.
Okay, so here's where I would caveat this, is if they had been fully healthy, I don't know how close they would have gotten to 36. But we have literally not seen a game this. I remember doing segments back in September and October, and probably in August, where it was like, who's the most important player on this year's Kings team? Is it Keegan or is it Sabonis? Well, the two of them have literally not played a single minute together this year.
It's crazy. So some of that, that's a good call, Kyle. If you were a season ticket holder, you had no clue you were never going to see this team at full strength.
You were never, not once.
By the way, I fully believe we will not see this team at full strength. We won't.
You don't think Zach or Keegan?
No. Because once somebody gets healthy, they'll be on a different team.
That's the other part. They've only got 6 weeks left.
No, it's over. So I feel bad for you. Okay? I feel bad for you. And 916 is saying season ticket holders had to decide by the end of February whether they were going to renew or not, which was 20 days after the Fox trade. So, you made a decision. It got, and at that time, I mean, maybe you're thinking,
they had the same record as the Warriors.
Hey, Zach LaVine another year. They're going to go get a point guard. It won't be Dennis Schroeder. And it definitely won't be Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook. That won't happen.
But at least we still have Jonas Valanciunas and Jake LaRavia. Even if you didn't like the Levine trade, it's like, well, we got Valanciunas and LaRavia, and they're looking good. Nope, neither player still on the team.
Well, you knew LaRavia was cooked.
Yeah, I didn't know both of them would be cooked.
No, you did not know.
You traded all the extra picks you got in the Fox trade to get.
But I feel for you. I feel for you, and I hope that you get to see this team full strength. I just have no reason to believe that you will. I don't know what type of conversation or whatever happened in that locker room. But
look, to those season ticket holders, I know you're not going to get to see Sabonis for 70% of the season, Keegan Murray for so far 70% of games played. Levine's going to be out, but you know what you do get? Russell Westbrook breaking all the records.
I will say this, and I'm going to walk back what I said because this is a Rubik's Cube, right? Or all these different, we were talking about Marvel and Doomsday coming out, and for some reason they're bringing Captain America back. I don't know what's going on. Looks like he's got a kid now.
That's because he needs money.
Well, somebody does.
Chris Evans needs money.
Looks like he's got a kid now, but he's going to fight, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr., who's now a different character. And I hate that, by the way. He's a different character now. I cannot stand that. Give somebody else an opportunity. But anyway, this is the worst outcome that could have happened. Nobody healthy all season long. The team is atrocious. At least you do get to watch Russ break records and DeMar DeRozan. But I am going to walk that back because nobody would have thought. I know there's a very, I guess, sarcastic Kings fan out there that says, Allen, we all saw it. We all saw this coming, but nobody saw this. Nobody saw we're not going to be healthy all season long. Nobody saw that. So my heart goes out to you, season ticket holders. It's bad, but at least you get to see Maxime and Neek, huh? Right? And Dylan Cardwell. He's always pumping the fans up. Always. If there's one thing Dylan Cardwell's going to do, it's pump up the fans. And
man signing off.
And I appreciate him for that.
Man signing off.
On the other side, speaking of Maxime Reynaud, Kyle thinks that Maxime Reynaud is just a chucker, where I think he could be an NBA center Who's right? Who's wrong? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
When value matters, Elk Grove Chevrolet delivers. Right now, lease a new Chevrolet Silverado LT for $250 per month plus tax. The Silverado 1500 stands out with composed handling, competitive towing, payload, roomy cabin, and fuel economy. Visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com for full lease details. Don't miss your chance to drive the new Chevrolet Silverado. Stop by Elk Grove Chevrolet today and experience quality that goes the distance.
Growing your business? It's all about having the right team on the court. At Bank of Marin, we partner with businesses in the greater Sacramento area, delivering personalized service and local expertise to help you make a slam dunk. Whether it's customized lending or solutions to keep your business growing, you'll benefit from local decision-making, expanding, acquiring additional assets, or building a lasting banking relationship. We're ready for tip-off. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Daniel Tosh, my first farewell tour, Saturday, January 24th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley.
This is how I come up with material. I rant to my friends and my family, my inner circle, and when they hate every word coming out of my mouth, I know it's ready.
Saturday, January 24th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. On sale now. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com. Don't miss your chance to see Daniel Tosh.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITVFest.com.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days. At Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get behind the wheel of your new Accord or Civic today. Own or lease during Happy Honda Days at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you're a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And as we discuss, somebody mentioning Dr. Doom, someone else saying, I'm not renewing my season tickets after 13 years. Now, I do wonder why now, right? Kings haven't seen a ton of success. So why now? What is it about right now? Because I could argue this feels, outside of the Beam team, the most focused that the Kings have been. You kind of know what the plan is. Now, you can always hop back in, don't get me wrong. But I am curious why now. What did they do? Like, why did you do it last season? You know what I mean? Like, that to me felt like the season where you just traded De'Aaron for Zach LaVine. You fired Mike Brown. That seems like the season you would have said enough. This season, what did you think was going to – that was more of my point. What did you think was going to happen? Obviously, we all hoped that they would be the Suns of the Western Conference, and I'm just checking with it. Yeah, the Suns are still the 7th seed. So everyone was hoping that the Kings would be the Suns, and they're not. But we all knew that was also a long shot. So I am just curious, what is it about this season that turned you off, right? Why now, after 13 years, are you deciding because it feels like now they're at least more focused than they have been before, besides those 2 years with Monty McNair.
I mean, it does feel like, and again, speaking from baby child who didn't grow up here, but it seems like from 2010 to like the pandemic, a lot of the conversation around the Kings was less about the winning and more so about the saving the team. Like even after they got the arena deal and Vivek bought the team and traded DeMarcus Cousins a couple years later, like even the conversation was still, okay, now we're going to build this thing that we have a new arena, new ownership. Like now we can actually try and compete at that level. And then kind of, again, pandemic kind of nukes the timelines of everything a little bit. But by the time you get to 2022, you actually do have the Beam team. You have the success. You see it kind of come to fruition in that way. And then now it just feels like, okay, we've proven that we can succeed. The team is here, stable in the long term. Now we can actually focus on basketball.
Yeah.
And this team that everyone loved, and I remember in 2023 talking about we should build statues outside the arena to this team that saved basketball in Sacramento and broke the playoff. Like people were talking about this team as if it had won a championship back in 2023, and to see it all get broken down without ever getting back to that point probably was painful for a lot of people.
Well, I think you make a good point bringing up the relocation and then COVID. I think the reality is the reason somebody says enough is enough is because you don't trust Vivek and you don't trust Scott Perry. And those things go in conjunction with each other. And you say, hey, it took us this long to get a winner. And for some reason, the Kings nuked it in 2 years. So I'm not going to pay my hard-earned money for 13 more years, or for what would that have been? 10 more years to make the playoffs, lose in the first round, and then get it nuked again. So for those reasons, I'm out. Because that's number one. I can sit here and say, hey, we know the plan, but if you don't think that plan is going to be successful, then yeah, Allen, I'm not going to spend my money. We know what they're going to try to do, but I've been the number one person saying, hey, this draft, it could get a little squirrely. I mean, we're looking at the Hornets right in our face, right? We're looking at the Hornets. We're looking at the Nets. We're looking at the Wizards. This thing can take time, and it might not ever turn itself around. So why am I going to pay my hard-earned money the one time they figured it out? They self-sabotage. You know what it is? You ever watch those shows, or whether it's a dating show or whether it's a rom-com, get a little cozy because it is cold outside. That fog was crazy today, by the way. So be careful out there. But you're watching a little rom-com, and there's always that troubled man or woman that says, I just always self-sabotage. Like every time I get a good person, I self-sabotage because I'm just scared of commitment or whatever it is, right? You're watching The Bachelor or Love Island. I'm going to find a way to mess it up. I just self-sabotage, right? That's what they always say. The Kings just self-sabotage. I don't know why. There was no reason to fire Mike Brown after the extension. There was no reason to move on from De'Aaron Fox right then and there. There was no reason. It was all self-inflicted. So if you are somebody that feels like these are self-inflicted wounds that I no longer want to be a part of, trust me, we just went through Christmas. My wallet got flies coming out of it. We out here struggle busting. So if you think I'm going to pay my hard-earned money to watch the Kings try to figure it out, now look, maybe you have to wait and see, because I think you'll have opportunities to hop back in the game here these next couple of years if you don't want it this year. Maybe they get the number one pick. Maybe they get number one pick and hey, all right, cool. Next season, after that number one pick does their thing, that doesn't mean you can't go to games, but that's a big commitment that you don't necessarily have to make, right? You know, season tickets. I mean, I'll tell you this much. I would assume that the flipping, just not like the A's, but, I'm going to get them and flip them. These ain't Jordans. These ain't the Kobe Proto 6s. They're not flipping the way they were flipping. You know what these are, Kyle? The Kings are the Kobe's that I get on the sneaker app that end up being on Shoe Outlet 2 weeks later, and I'm excited thinking, oh my goodness, I finally got some Kobe's. No, these are the Kobe's nobody wanted, and they're still available, Allen. You go on StockX, Kyle. I'm walking around afraid to put them on, Kyle, because if these go for a bunch of money, I don't want, if you put the shoe, because they'll know, they'll smell the shoe. They know, hey, you put your foot in the shoe. So I didn't put my foot in the shoe, and then it turns out that they're on Foot Locker for $120. That's the Kings season tickets right now. You're not flipping that.
See, that's funny because the current construction of the Kings is the guys who are from LA that the LA teams didn't want. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of the same situation here where it's like DeRozan, Levine, Westbrook, we want to come home. And the Clippers and Lakers were like, we'll take Anthony Davis, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and we're good.
Yeah, we'll also take Chris Paul. And then we'll tell Chris Paul to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I hear all of you. And people are chiming in saying, hey, mess with me once, shame on me, shame on you, mess with me twice, shame on me. So I get it. The 530 is saying, we as fans know what the plan is, ? I'm clueless to what the plan is, honestly. Or is the plan to just not know yet? Well, we know the plan is to get young talent in here and develop that young talent, right? Via the draft and via trade. We don't know how long it's going to take. The whole 3 to 5 years thing got debunked, unbunked, rebunked, right? We don't know. We do know that it seems like they don't want to double down on this, and it doesn't seem like they have any commitment to anybody over the age of 26. That's what we do know. But we do not know what exactly is going to happen within these next couple of years. So we know what in theory they want to do. We don't know what, and to be fair, the Thunder knew, hey, we're trading for a bunch of pieces. We're getting off of a Paul George contract, and we're getting a guy that has a lot of upside. That's what we know. They didn't know, hey, we're trading for somebody that's going to be arguably the best player in the NBA. So you can have ideas, but whether you know the specifics or not, it's still on you to say, I want to spend my hard-earned money to do this. And you don't have to. You honestly don't have to. That's up to you. I feel for you. We were making a joke earlier just about where this thing has fallen for season ticket holders. And hey, you get to see Doug on the sideline.
Which one?
Well, he's been playing. So now we have Brock Purdy doing the Dougie.
The Eurostep Dougie.
The Eurostep slow motion Dougie had me in tears last night. And you think it's any coincidence that now Dougie McBuckets is playing? And Dwayne from Stockton was sick about Dougie McBuckets. That doesn't even bother me. I'm so numb. Let him play.
But when he was in over Malik, I was like, what are we doing here?
Nobody knows. And I'm not saying Doug Christie doesn't know what he's doing. I'm saying nobody does. Yeah. I'm saying all of us in general, we do not know.
So we're just, because it's not about a log jam.
And I'll tell you this, Schmal and Miles just burning money with the Kings. You're just burning money. Westbrook just didn't play in the second half. Then he made a 3, and somebody said something disrespectful, and he kicked the fan out. He was halfway to his number, Kyle.
Start taking unders.
He was halfway to his number. He was on my. Schmallen had a whole LA revenge lineup, and he just didn't play. Stop spending your money on Kings prop talk because you just don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. What we do know is that Maxime Reynaud has been pretty darn good. But Kyle doesn't think he's good enough to play in the NBA. All that and more when we return. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right.
Yeah.
La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent scent. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 skills-based degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start January 7th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho! And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
taking you up to 2 p.m. Kyle, I got a couple stories that we're going to get into during, that happened to me during the break. These are some high-level notes on it. Number one, my wife bought me some scratchers, and one scratcher was set to one scratcher was a version of poker. Okay, so I don't really play poker like that. I've played a couple times. My pops has kind of taught me later in life, but I don't know the ins and outs. So it's a hand, and then it has all of the different, prizes. So the hand was all spades, right? But there weren't crazy high numbers, but they were all spades. So one of the hands that I had, and you could win $1 million. One of my hands said $75,000, right? So I had a king, and I had, some high numbers. So I'm thinking, oh, wait, hold on. I got real quiet on Christmas. I take a picture, and I send it to ChatGPT. And I say, hey, ChatGPT, did I win? Because I don't know the ins and outs of poker. Now, I think it ended up being, hold on. ChatGPT says, yes, you have won $75,000. This is what you do when you win $75,000. You fill it out and all these specific things. And I'm just sitting there. My wife is saying, what's going on? I'm saying, hold on. I think I just won $75,000. So I typed in the actual hand, right? So I find the barcode on the front. I scratch the barcode, and Kyle, my heart is beating out of its chest, It's not enough to, quit, but it'd be nice. It says I won $6. So then I go back to ChatGPT, and I type in the hand from the dealer and my hand, and ChatGPT says, oh, yes, depending on the type of poker, that the hand one wins. So you did not win because I had hand number 2. And I'm thinking, and I'm like now arguing with ChatGPT, but you told me I won. So I thought I won $75,000.
Until ChatGPT had to tell you whether you're scratched. This is the most 2025 story I've ever heard. If ChatGPT tells you your scratcher, your poker scratcher on Christmas told you won $75,000 and could afford to put your kids through college.
I mean, it would have been after taxes, that's probably 60. Then I got to give half. Yeah, then I got to give half to my better half, and hey, she technically bought it, so now I got to give her half.
Well, I feel like you just take that money and save it for your kids' college.
I mean, I need a Beamer, And
well, you got one on Saturday.
I was making all these plans, and then it said $6. It was $5 and a free ticket.
Oh, so you're gonna go back?
Now I'm gonna go back and maybe win the whole thing. But Kyle, you wanted to talk about how Maxime Reynaud isn't an NBA player, so I wanted to make sure we had some time. We had some time for that. Senor Segue strikes again.
That was aggressive.
I wanted to make sure you got the floor.
No, okay. So here's the thing. This morning, I innocently sent you we exchange back and forth on Twitter things that we want to say, and what popped up in my algorithm is one of those Legion Hoops or whatever it's called posts that says Maxime Reynaud stats tonight, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 6 for 9 shooting.
Yeah.
It's the young fella is doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
And I see this almost every game now, usually after they lose by 20 points. And I see this and it's just annoying me.
Why is it annoying you?
It's just annoying that they keep flashing these graphics as if he's Jokic and he just put up 55, 15, and 16.
Kyle, he's balling.
He's playing good, but it just annoys me now that I'm they lost by 30. And you're sending me every game without pause. Maxime Reynaud stats tonight, 17 points.
Look, the big thing that I will make this very quick for you, okay? Because I hear what you're saying. We kind of have called it the Isaac Jones thing. And that's no disrespect to Isaac Jones, but that's what we call it, the Isaac Jones question. And all respect to Isaac Jones, he's on the Pistons now. But we call it the Isaac Jones question because that was a big question yesterday. I think Dylan Cardwell, they're all part of the Isaac Jones question, right? But I don't know how it's a name. I have one name for you. 2 words, one name that will make everybody feel better and kind of debunk everything that you're talking about, Kyle, okay? You ready for this name? James Wiseman. James Wiseman got drafted number 2 overall, was on bad Warriors teams for, it was really only about a year and a half. He had injuries. But Kyle, James Wiseman on bad Warriors teams never looked like this.
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's annoying that this is all you have to hold up.
That is all we have to hold up.
This is the one that got me. It was Hoop Central that said Maxime Reynaud over the last 5 games.
The Kings are getting talked about on Hoop Central. That's huge.
Right, but it's just annoying to me that they're doing this despite the fact they are 1-4 in their last 5 games.
But what else do they want? What, Kyle?
I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just annoying.
The fact that they are shouting out the Kings and Max Reynaud as they stink means that they are recognizing that this is something that doesn't normally happen.
No, this is the part that annoys me. Maxime Reynaud over the last 5 games from Hoop Central.
Yeah.
17 points per game.
That's
good. That's good. That's a decent NBA player.
Yeah.
10 rebounds per game.
He's literally Ivica Zubac.
He's averaging a double-double. 52% field goal percentage. That is below average for a center, but we'll put 52% field goal percentage.
Kyle.
And then, you know what they list as the 4th stat? 30 minutes per game. As if he just existed. 30 minutes per game. And then
what is the problem?
And then you know what they put next to it? Underrated rookie. Fire emoji. But
he's a second round pick.
They do. It's not this one specific, although it underlines the point. They do this after every game, and I don't know why it's starting to bother me that they do this after every Kings game.
I think Maxime Reynaud had a little bit of pub to him. People thought that he could have won in the first round, and he dropped a little bit. And I think, he ends up on the Kings, and there's not a lot of positives to talk about with the Kings. So aren't you Mr. Feel Good? It's just got to feel good. So why are you taking away the feel good?
It just makes me feel sad that this is all they have to. We used to be a proper team.
Yeah.
And now all we're holding up is Maxime Reynaud is averaging 30 minutes per game.
But this is exactly where we're headed anyway with this rebuild.
You are correct. I think it's just hard to stomach it right now when they are also losing all the time, right? Like if they were doing this,
okay, you know what's funny? What is worse to you, that or Russell Westbrook passed some random thing? Because to me, I'm not saying one is annoying or not, but I care. No disrespect to Russ or DeMar, but I care more about. Or it makes me feel better when I see Hoop Central posting about Maxime Reynaud than Russell Westbrook just passed Magic Johnson or whoever it was. Because that to me is, to be honest, that is more sad than the Maxime stuff by far.
But I feel like that's indiscriminate of being on the Kings, right?
Which is why it's sad.
I just think the Kings are just a reality of hit. Like the fact that he's playing on the Kings, yes, I get it. It's like Gary Payton on the Lakers or whatever. It is kind of sad, but I don't think that one hurts me as much because they'd be doing that no matter who.
No, they wouldn't, because I don't know that anybody else was. Nobody wants Russell Westbrook, and nobody seems to want DeMar DeRozan. So no, Kyle, we actually don't know that.
I'm saying if he was breaking this on any other team, they would still post the Westbrook just did this or that or whatever.
Yeah, and everyone keeps saying, man, he could help some teams right now. And we're not hearing about any interest.
But again, like the thing that makes me, I guess, sad is I don't like living in a world where the regular season games don't matter. And in fairness, they probably haven't mattered since November, but it feels like seeing all of the, we're really trying to prop up Maxime here is just kind of hitting me in the face that oh yeah, these games are all about whether Maxime Reynaud plays 30.8 minutes per game or not. And I guess that just makes me sad.
This is where we've been, Kyle. This is where we've been.
With also the understanding, I have no idea if Maxime is actually a NBA rotation player or not.
He's literally Ivica Zubac. With a 3.
He only takes 1 per game.
Because Zubac ain't a real defensive stopper either.
No, but again, I have no idea what Maxime Reynaud is going to be.
I know we know what he is. He's Ivica Zubac.
Yeah, Ivica Zubac now on a Clippers team that is terrible and he never gets the ball. Not Zubac, the All-NBA player on a 50-win team.
He had one good year. One good year, Kyle.
Look, I like Maxime Reynaud. And
do you?
I really want to see him succeed.
Do you?
It's just starting to make me angry that they do these graphics after every game, even though they lose.
You sound like me. You literally sound like me. I don't have a problem with the graph. You know what I want to stop? Yeah. Oh, well, look, the records are great, but that has nothing to do with the Kings to me. And you're arguing that's why it doesn't bother you. It doesn't bother me as much as Maxime seems to bother you. I hope we can still have him on the show since, you can't stand the guy.
This has nothing to do with Maxime, the player. This just has to do with the fact that it Kyle, just kind of is starting to annoy me.
This sounds very Allen of you.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because that is crazy, Kyle.
You dragged this out of me.
No. Yeah, see, look, and on the text line or the Sac chat, he's JDB. Maxime is a second rounder, bro. Yeah. And they should remind you, Kyle, underrated, steal of the draft. He's going to be in the Rising Stars game in February. And you know who's not going to be cheering him on? You. And when they post about it, they're going to say, oh my goodness, look what he's doing. You know what you're going to say? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
It's not that I don't want to see it. We don't have to do it after every game.
You do. What else are you going to talk about? That whether the Kings did not cover the spread once again. You know what actually is more questionable? It's the Dylan Cardwell stuff. I have no clue what to do with Dylan Cardwell. I truly don't.
I have no idea what to do with Maxime because the other thing
I do know what to do with Maxime. Put him in the Zubac bucket.
But then Sabonis is going to come back and he's going to go back to the bench and then what? He's going to play 10 minutes a game and he's not going to put up these crazy numbers?
All I'm saying is we'll deal with that when it happens. We will cross that bridge when we get there. We don't know when we're going to get to that bridge. We might not get to the bridge, if I'm being completely honest with you. All right, 1 o'clock hour coming up next. We have a lot to break down. Of course, more Kings talk. What do we do with Dylan Cardwell? He looks good, but is it the Isaac Jones question again, as well as some NFL? Let's recap all that. There's a new rivalry in the NBA, and I got more stories from over the break. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/fast. That's ethos.com/fast.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. The winter months bring joy, but also with more rain and snow, unfortunately, more accidents. Over the last quarter century, thousands of Northern California residents have looked to Ashton & Price to be their Rudolph with a law license to guide them through the storm of an injury claim. As always, we wish you and your family the safest and happiest of holidays, but if you need us, at Ashton & Price, we're here for you. So whether you've been naughty or nice, happiest holidays from Ashton & Price.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton &
and price.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Coach Christie here, letting you know the year-end sell-a-thon is on at Folsom Lake Ford. And with your approved credit, get 0% financing plus 0 down, plus no payments for 90 days on select new Fords. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford today. Interest accrues from date of purchase.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
One more hour with you. And by the way, seems like a good time for some housekeeping. So, yeah, I'm not even going to lie to y'all. When I found out all the other shows took off Wednesday and Friday, I just took it off too. I was going to do the shows, but I wasn't going to be the only one here. So I found out that Carmichael, Dave, Jason, and Whitey took off tomorrow. And don't get it twisted. We got to use our own, PTO here. It's not like we got the days off. We got Thursday off, but when I found out that they just took the other 2 days, I said, well, I'm not just going to be here, it's just more of a respect thing, right? Hey, I'm like y'all. If you taking it off, I'm taking it off. So I will be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just like the rest of them. And on top of that, this will be my last midday show of the week as well, because tomorrow I will be on the afternoon show with Kayla Anderson, and Chris Watkins will be doing the midday show. So Kyle will be handling the midday show duties. I believe we'll have Ramsey in the afternoon with Kayla and myself. So those are the breakdowns, just to let y'all know for the rest of the week. But yeah, I haven't even put it in to our system yet to take the days off. But Jason said, no, I'm going to be out. And Whitey said, no, I'm going to be out. Whitey not even here today. And Carmichael Dave ain't been here in 2 weeks. So I said, you know what? I guess I'm going to take it off too.
Okay, so adding on to the scheduling thing. So Christopher Laud and Jay Johnson also took off the Wednesday and Friday. So I'm the only normal daytime employee who's going to be here. So I'm doing the mornings.
Okay.
Somebody else is doing midday. I think it's our guy Anthony. I have to look at the schedule, but I'm here tomorrow midday with Chris, but then mornings Wednesday and Friday. Very MASH unity. I would have taken it off too, but I took off last week to go home, and Chris and Jay had to come in on Monday and Tuesday, so it's only fair that now I have to be the only one here.
There you go. Only one more week of it, and I know a lot of you will have a couple days off yourself, and you deserve it. And then we get back to things as they typically go when we all get back on the 5th. So just wanted to let y'all know that. As we were talking about Dylan Cardwell, when he plays 15 or more minutes, 4.6. How about this, Kyle? You okay with this? 4.6 points. This is from our guy Jack Dan, who covers the Kings and all things, the Sac State Hornet, our guy. How about this, Kyle? 4.6 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, 1.6 assists, 3.4 stocks, that's steals and blocks, leads all rookies. He is a plus 11.6 net rating, a plus 8.9 defensive rating. And Jack Dan says, sign him to a full deal ASAP. Dylan Cardwell, this is from Frankie Cardicelli. Dylan Cardwell has blocked 13 shots over his past 5 games. That's the most blocked shots over a 5-game span by a Sacramento Kings rookie since Michael Stewart in 1998. And last but not least, this is from Chris Watkins. Strange but true. Despite ranking 28th in defensive rating, the Sacramento Kings are the only NBA team with 2 players currently top 10 in stocks, steals, and blocks per game. Top 10 stocks leaders, number 1, Victor Wembanyama. Number 3, Keegan Murray. Number 8, Dylan Cardwell. Cardwell has played 15 or more minutes in each of Sacramento's last 6 games, averaging 3.4 stocks. During that span, that would rank second in the NBA, just ahead of Walker Kessler. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous stuff right there. And, what's funny is somebody on the text line is saying, Allen, it's just so bad offensively. And I don't disagree that it doesn't look great. But with that being said, is he just that good defensively that it doesn't matter? And right now, it kind of seems to be that way. Now, I do think there are moments where it looks bad, right? I think I saw who was it? Dennis Schroeder, just from muscle memory, and Russell Westbrook. They'll run the pick and roll with Dylan Cardwell. Then they'll drop it off. And after they drop it off, right, Dylan Cardwell will kind of get it, not really know what to do with it. And it's a know your personnel situation right there. But, there are also times where he's getting to that dunker spot and he's taking care of business. So Kyle was kind of roasting Maxime Reynaud in the segment previously. I'm not going to roast Dylan Cardwell. I don't know what to do with him. And maybe all we need to do with him is that he's a really good value right now on a bad team. He is, I think he's 23 as well, a couple years at Auburn. So not sure who he's going to be, but does he have that but does he have a part of his game? Yeah, he's 24 years old, of course. That's the minimum age for a Kings player. Does he have that thing that is just hard to describe where he's just so good defensively, he is an NBA player? That's what I'm struggling with right now, because it seems like he does. But to your point, Kyle, with the Maxime offensive stuff, I feel like that's where I'm at with Dylan Cardwell defensively, even though defensively is a little different because everybody's giving effort and everyone's trying to score. So I'm stuck. I do think he's an NBA player, but, the idea of, and you didn't say this on the air, Kyle, but the idea of if this is a 4-year rebuild, where does Maxime, maybe you didn't want to say this on air, where does Maxime Reynaud kind of sit? I feel the same way with Dylan Cardwell. I'm not going to beat my hands and beat the drum as far as we need to invest in this guy. I mean, he's a 24-year-old, a bit limited. I just don't know what to do with really either of these guys because they keep signing very old rookies. That's where
I'm sorry, Chris is making me laugh back here.
So I guess Chris Watkins doing the afternoon show?
Yes, Chris is doing a truncated afternoon show. It's only 2 hours.
Okay.
But yes.
I'll be listening.
Yes.
He's cooking.
To the point about Dylan Cardwell, I remember, to your point about defense first, yes, steals and blocks are steals and blocks regardless of circumstance. So I guess that's more of a more conducive to future success. If you can steal and you can block against anyone, you're going to be fine. But to your point about Cardwell, I remember before they even signed Precious Achiuwa saying over the summer, like I think this was during Summer League, I was like, his future is a Precious Achiuwa type ceiling.
Yeah.
If he's ever going to work in the NBA, it's kind of going to be that same way as Precious, which it's kind of funny that they ended up signing Precious because clearly they have a need for that type of like undersized big who can sometimes play 4, can handle themselves at the 5, but you don't love when they play at the 5. That can't really shoot the 3, but at the very least, Precious is taking a couple every now and again just to keep people on their toes. That's kind of what I think the best case scenario for a Dylan Cardwell is. So maybe if Precious leaves at the end of this season, you can maybe slot Dylan into his roster spot since clearly Precious is playing well and fitting on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I think the easier way to say this is all these guys, Nick Clifford included, they're already 24, right? Or Nick Clifford's about to be 24. So you don't know if any of your other building blocks are within Dylan Cardwell, Maxime Reynaud, Nick Clifford. I think the Nick Clifford untouchable thing is just for show, to be honest with you. I don't know. Who is it out there that needs Nick Clifford? I think it's just for show. And I've said that before and I've said it again. And I don't really blame the Kings for saying it that way. So you have those 3 guys, right, that are all under 25, barely, but they're under 25. So as you start this rebuild, you got Keegan, you got those 3 guys, and whoever you get in the draft. And I think these next couple seasons, look, they're going to turn around and be closer to 30. So I think these next couple seasons, until they're over that 25 age range. You see who develops, and you go from there. Is Maxime going to be Zubac, or is he going to be out the league? Is Dylan Cardwell going to be a Precious? And here's a funny thing about Precious Achiuwa. He kind of was out the league. So, it's nice to see these things, but I don't know if any of these guys are going to be on the next version of this Kings team that is whatever contending looks like. We're going to find out over these next couple years.
I guess the other part with the Precious of it all is yes, Precious was a first-round pick, so obviously he had more skill set based on whatever NBA scouts were evaluating at that point than say Dylan Cardwell. But Precious is in year 6 in the league now? If Dylan Cardwell has a 6-year NBA career as an undrafted free agent, that would be amazing.
Oh, that would be. That his story versus what he's going to be for the Kings, two different things. Right?
Yeah,
he could have a really good story. I don't know what he does for the future of this Kings. Because, again, he strikes me as a guy, again, at 24 years old, where he can probably go help a contender that needs defensive help at some point versus you're not building around Dylan Cardwell. The timing just might not match up, right? He's going to do his thing for a couple years, and Kimberly says, I just love Cardwell's hands on the hips thing. He is useful for now until we figure out what we are. Because at that point, 2 years down the line, he's 26 years old. And it's the same thing with Maxime Reynaud. I'm telling you, Maxime Reynaud is getting all the pub right now, but they're all in the same thing with Nick Clifford. Yeah. They're all in the same spot. You got a undrafted guy, a second rounder, and a late first rounder.
Well, and let's play this out to next year, because let's say they don't get any more first-round picks or second-round picks next year. Mm-hmm. You would have potentially, if they're able to clear the roster a little bit, you would still have Sabonis for sure, probably Levine, at least as a stopgap, and then you would have Keegan, Maxime, Neek, potentially Dylan Cardwell on a full NBA contract. Your first-round lottery pick, 2 second-round picks next year, that's 10 players right there, and only Sabonis and Levine are the ones who are over 30 years old. So at the very least, you look at that and say, hey, we are moving in the direction of getting younger a little faster, even if those quote-unquote young players may not be all foundational pieces of the team going forward.
And you know what people are probably saying to Dylan Cardwell right now? They're saying, brother, if you get a push shot and a corner three, you could play for 10 years. You could, and maybe not 10, but you could play for 7 years.
So you went viral and got roasted for saying Valanciunas learned to shoot the corner three. Are you willing to double down and say Cardwell?
If Dylan Cardwell gets a corner three, it will unlock this offense. And it will unlock this defense. That's it. I said it, Kyle.
If Dylan Cardwell can hit the corner three,
has he taken one?
He shouldn't. If he has,
I don't think he's taken one.
All right, let's.
But I'm telling you, all you need. Look, it's your job. Your job is to play basketball. Your job is just about being well-rounded. All you need, go get, what's his name? Go get with Lethal Shooter. Go get with that dude, Lethal Shooter. Go to that gym in Brooklyn and go to the Summit, and Dylan Cardwell just shoot 500 corner threes a day.
By the way, Dylan Cardwell is 0 for 1 from 3 this year.
I need to see that. I need to see that 3.
Which one was it?
Just shoot 500 corner threes a day with Lethal Shooter, and Dylan Cardwell, you will play for the next 7 years in the league. That's it. That's it.
Thanks to research from our friend Chris Watkins, he took it in that Laker game where Austin Reeves had a 51-point game.
I need to see that. No, I need to see that.
Which that was early in the season. What are you doing shooting a 3 in the third game?
So that's all. Corner 3, you will play for 7 years in this league, brother. Maybe longer.
7 is pretty good.
7 is really good. Now, you got to learn, you got to do it, but look at Precious. Precious, he's got some touch on it now.
True, but Precious also was the 20th pick in the draft and got picked by the Miami Heat.
A long time ago. He did not have that 3 on the Knicks. That's why, if he had that 3 on the Knicks, guess what? He'd probably still be on the Knicks.
I only bring up that point to say,
and they got Yabusele, and Yabusele can't even play.
Yeah, the Knicks changed their roster, but you even forget he was on Toronto for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess I just look at it and say, because Precious was a first-round pick and was picked by Miami, he got more of a runway. But I do think Cardwell, because of the situation the Kings are in, they could maybe speed it up a little on the timeline.
I'm just saying, both of these guys, they got the bones are there. The bones are there. The foundation's there. Because as you were kind of roasting Maxime, I'm trying to, what?
Okay, Chris Watkins.
Chris, if you're going to be back there.
Chris is doing God's work on production here. You're not going to believe this.
What?
He found the clip of Dylan shooting, and you can kind of see it through his laptop, but he's going to show you.
Was it late on the shot clock?
It was a corner three, Alan. It was a corner three.
I need to see this.
And just
I'm ready.
For the audience.
Okay. Levine gets it to Schroeder. Schroeder kicks out. Oh. Air ball. But the bones are there. That's online. It was a bad air ball, but he's just strong.
It was an overshot air ball.
I'd rather it long than short.
Hey now.
Chris, get out of here, man. That was a better looking three than I thought.
It was an air ball.
No, but Kyle, it was online. I'm telling you.
2 feet beyond the line.
It was online.
Yes, but
Good shooters. Hey, Chris, what they say? Good shooters, they're short or long, but they're online. So I feel much better about my take now.
After seeing him airball a corner three.
So basically, who can he be if he gets a three? Not Precious Achiuwa. But basically, the Kings have Zubac, and they have, who are we calling Dylan Cardwell?
Brooke Lopez.
And Brooke Lopez. The Kings.
Maybe Robin Lopez.
The Kings have Brooke Lopez and Ivica Zubac. That's who they've drafted. So we need to understand that. And then they got Josh Hart and Nick Clifford. So we need to understand all this.
Oh, but then you have Sabonis. So, if you got Sabonis, Zubac, and
big man, tall man, strong man. That's what they have. Big man, tall man, strong man.
And all can shoot threes, right?
And they all can unlock the offense.
Except Sabonis.
We don't need Valanciunas. Go away, Valanciunas.
Valanciunas hit a three against us.
Yeah, and he unlocked the Nuggets offense. So I'm telling you, man, 916-339-1140. We're having some fun here with the youngins on the Kings. I don't know what he's going to be, what any of them are going to be, but I think that's maybe the good thing about having older rookies in this situation. It'll be better. And I think that's also a part of getting these older guys. They all can do something, right? They all have something that they've kind of gone back to throughout their career. That's what you're seeing with Dylan. He's rested on his defense. That's what you're seeing on Maxime. He's got a good offensive touch. He's got good footwork. So that's what happens when I know I get on the Kings because they're all 24 years old and they all have to pay for their own life insurance at this point in time. But even with that being said, for what the Kings are trying to do, you see what can happen with Keegan. They're around the same age. You still got Sabonis. They're good, and I hate to say it this way, but they're stopgaps that might develop into more, right? They're stopgaps that might develop into more. That's what they are. And I'm not going to include Neek in that, but I kind of want to, right? They're young stopgaps that, if we're lucky, develop into more.
Yeah, it's just slightly better chance, I'd say, with Neek. And I cite this all the time. And again, I think it's from The Ringer, but I can't remember where it's from. But basically, they were like, if you're picking in the top 10, got like an 80% chance that player is going to be a great NBA player for, let's say, worth a second contract, right? You got like an 80% chance of hitting. If it's picks 10 through 30, you got like a 50-50 shot that player's going to be something in this league. Anything after that, it's like 25% chance. So if you take enough shots at the board, maybe one of those second-round picks or one of those undrafted guys will become something when you're ready to actually succeed. Yeah. But not all of them are going to, because there are only 450 roster spots in the NBA.
All I know is whether we're talking about Maxime or Dylan Cardwell, I watched the number 2 pick in the draft, James Wiseman, play for however many years in Golden State, and he never looked like either of them. Now, do with that what you want, and he's still hanging around, maybe because of his pedigree, right? But the only reason I bring that up is because I'm just trying to debunk the idea that Maxime is just a chucker or doing this on a bad team. Now, it is a bad team, but I'll give you this, Kyle. A lot of post players make their money on trying to defend and things like that. It's a lot easier for when we do the chucker thing, it's a lot easier for Anthony Simons to be a chucker because they're shooting the three ball, right? A team that is just chucking a bunch of threes, and sometimes they get hot, sometimes they don't. Cam Thomas. It's easier for me to use the term chucker on those guys than it is to have that conversation when we're talking about a post player, right? Those are hard-earned points down there. Nobody's just letting you score. And he's done it against other guys trying to make their name. He's done it against the Klingons. He's done it against other players. So it's hard for me to call a post player a chucker because they are working pretty hard down there versus some random two guard that is just throwing up 15 threes a game.
Right. The Maxime thing, and again, I know we were having fun with it. I do think what Maxime is doing is really important to note.
Oh, here we go.
However,
trying to moonwalk and get the Michael Jackson music. Kyle's moonwalking.
The point, though, is I don't know what to do with it, A, because I don't know what the future roster construction is going to be, and B, Max don't shoot a lot of threes, so you're going to play him next to Sabonis? Like, when Sabonis comes back, whenever that's going to be, Max essentially becomes your Drew Eubanks. And at that point, he doesn't get the same runway to do what he is doing right now unless they find some way to play him alongside Sabonis. That's just because otherwise there's only 48 minutes to play, and Sabonis should be playing 30 to 35 minutes every night. So unless you find a way for him to... And this is why I keep talking about the blocks, and I keep talking about the ability to shoot the threes. Max is going to have to stretch the floor a bit if he's ever going to play alongside DeMontis Sabonis.
He can. He got a little hitchy woo-woo, but we can work on that.
Yeah, but...
They both in the same gym. They both... Dylan, you get in that gym, and Maxime going to be right there behind you.
But I do want to caveat there, I don't think there's anything wrong with him being the backup center to Sabonis. They were willing to pay, what, $12 million a year for Valanciunas and give up a couple picks and CD Sissoko, who is looking pretty nice. Like, they were willing to give up a nice chunk of change to get Jonas Valanciunas. But I don't think Legion Hoops or Hoop Central is going to be making posts when Jonas Valanciunas puts up 17 points and 10 rebounds.
You're still on this.
It just annoys me.
I can't, out of all the things that you have been or not been annoyed about, this is not what I picked. Carmichael Dave 8418, I don't believe is the real Carmichael Dave, says Cat is a chucker. Yes, I would say Karl Anthony Towns is a big man chucker because he shoots the three ball. And he puts up big numbers, but yeah. But they do it on a winning team, so I don't know. Cat's a weird one. He's a solid... When I think chucker, no disrespect, I just think Anthony Simons and Cam Thomas. Yeah, that's what I think.
You kind of want Cat to chuck. I mean, Cat can put up, when he was on the Timberwolves, he was putting up 30 a game.
But you pay somebody $54 million, you better be shooting. But I don't, try to find me, here's a good one, Kyle. If you think Maxime Reynaud is a chucker, find me another big man chucker. You can't, it's hard to do. Find me another big man chucker. What is a chucker? You may ask. The team doesn't necessarily have to be a losing team, but most of the time it's a losing team, and it's a player putting up big numbers on a losing team. And Kyle is kind of dancing around Maxime being a chucker, so I said it's harder to be a big man chucker. Find me a big man chucker.
Look, he's getting opportunity, but this is the same thing you talked about with Trey Murphy. The minutes are also going up. The shot attempts per game are also going up. Now, for Max, we have no reference point to him before this because he's A, a rookie, and B, was backing up Drew Eubanks to start the season. So, like, this is the only Maxime we've seen, but this is not, I don't think, truly representative of what Max is going to be in the next couple years on the Kings.
You know what's interesting? If we were to isolate, there's almost another section of this where it's just functional center, right? And that's what I said last week. Maxime Reynaud seems to be a functional center that at the very worst is going to be in your rotation. At the very best could be a starter for you. So you know what would be interesting, Kyle? To isolate, let's see if we can isolate those 9, I'm assuming the 9 games that Jonas Valanciunas started for the Kings. I think they might have done the double beef once, but I'm assuming those 9 games just meant Domantas Sabonis was out. So if we can pull those 9 games and see if that's just a functional, what Maxime is doing is just the result of being a function, because James Wiseman is not a functional center. What Maxime is doing, and that's been my whole point of this, tells us that he is an NBA center or will be an NBA center. I don't know that he's going to be a star, and I'm not saying that, but he is an NBA center. Kyle's going to pull that for us. He's running out of time, so he's got to do it right now. We also are going to keep this conversation going, the new rivalry that is going around the NBA. And Carmichael Dave, he's sticking his nose in business that has nothing to do with him when he's talking about the Raiders and the toilet bowl that the Raiders successfully lost. So don't tick me off, Carmichael Dave. I don't care where you're at right now. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get behind the wheel of your new Accord or Civic today. Own or lease during Happy Honda Days at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you're a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITVFest.com.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Chris Watkins is going to join us early because why not? He's got a truncated show because, yeah, Rams, Falcons. This is the type of game that the Rams do lose, though.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how much they're really playing for anymore, right? They the Niners and Seahawks are playing for the division next week. I don't know.
Puka championship. Puka and their fantasy championships. You know, I don't.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're going to not play anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if the NFL would fine you, but if they just say we're not
so,
playing
yeah.
Matthew Stafford, but yeah, I don't know. I guess Kirk Cousins is playing to interest someone.
I've seen enough of that. Yeah, I mean, I would love to say, look, you can listen up until 4 o'clock, honestly, personally. I don't care what you do after that. We're going to have a great program for you from 2 to 4, but yeah, I don't think I can sell you on this Monday night game. I doubt anyone, maybe, Puka goes for the receiving record, but I just don't think either team really has anything. I mean, it's like, it's just that point in the NFL season where, most of these games truly don't matter.
Well,
there's like 3 that matter next week.
I just saw something, but I don't know how much the Rams can change their fate because, I mean, Luther Burden going down, it was a quad injury. You just can't lose anybody right now.
Right.
And I would assume no Devontae again.
Right. Yeah.
This is a
Especially
classic.
with his
This is a classic. I mean, maybe you see Jimmy G tonight. I don't know. This is just a classic situation where just get out of Dodge, right? The Hawks or the Falcons, they look like they're playing the wrong sport. they just Bijan.
Yeah.
Like I remember Darnell Mooney.
Bijan and Bijan.
Yeah.
And more Bijan.
Schmal and Miles. Darnell Mooney used to be his guy.
Yeah.
And he's disappeared.
No, he's turned into Kyle Pitts.
Literally, and now Kyle Pitts is actually kind of back, but nobody cares. So I don't know. I mean, I'll watch tonight, but I don't know what to do with Raheem Morris and any of them, really. Yeah. So it's just we're not really selling it here.
No,
but,
I mean, that's not our job to.
Kirk is trying to convince somebody to take a chance on him.
I think so at this point.
I mean, if Phillip Rivers is still can we stop with that, by the way? Am I messed up?
Did you see they put I don't know if Riley Leonard ended up playing a ton of that game because I didn't invest in
No, I was because I had Alec Pierce.
So I saw on the last play, it was a Hail Mary, and they did not have Phillip Rivers.
No.
Yeah,
because he can't.
I loved. Yeah, I really, really.
And he was
enjoyed
emotional after the game, but we've seen enough.
Yeah, I mean they're
not me. Yeah, I wanted it to keep going.
I mean, it was a miracle that it was even going that well. And then I even, what's crazy? I saw this weekend that Sauce Gardner's like 2-13 for the season.
I saw that.
He joined the Colts.
Yeah.
And then they pretty much immediately go to the Jets.
Couple
record.
first rounders.
Yeah, I mean they had a great start to the season. It was all based on Jonathan Taylor going crazy and looking like the MVP. And then. I guess Daniel Jones really did have a certain level of impact. I did not see that coming, but it's just a weird point in the NFL schedule where I honestly feel like it might be in the Rams' best interest to get Jimmy G out there, right? Because what happens if Matt Stafford goes down in one of these games and Jimmy G we've seen can be I'm probably saying this in the wrong market, but he can be competent enough to get a team at least to the Super Bowl, but obviously the Emmanuel Sanders throw, he's a play away from getting it done. But if you're the Rams, you have to feel like this is still a Super Bowl window for you, and who knows how much longer that's going to be open with Matt Stafford. I would hate for their season to ultimately come to a close just because they didn't let Jimmy Garoppolo get a couple reps at the end of the season when the games didn't matter.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. There's playoff implications. After the Niners defeated the Bears, Rams were eliminated for NFC West. But, they can, I guess, move around a little bit.
I think if the Niners lose next week and maybe if the Rams win out, then there can be some sort of flipping of their standings potentially.
This is saying at this point, Los Angeles is locked into either the 5th or 6th seed in the NFC no matter what else happens.
Okay.
So that would mean that they would go to that. Actually, Jason Ross just a couple days ago was saying the number 5 spot is where he'd want to be because the Rams would get to face the winner of the NFC South. So they would go to either the broken down Bucks or the Panthers. So
meanwhile, the Niners get the Eagles.
Yeah.
Potentially. I think there's a chance the Packers could play the Eagles. I have that in my notes. Let's see. If the Eagles win against the Commanders and the Bears lose, the Packers go to Philly.
Oh, they're cooked.
That's the only obviously the Niners game is for the division. You mentioned the NFC South. AFC North has Ravens, Steelers. Then, the only other game of real consequence is that little matchup.
If the Rams beat the Falcons on Monday night, then defeat the Cardinals in Week 18, they would get that 5 seed and draw the NFC champion. So they are that's a big deal.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Whoever if you're the 6 and then you got to go to one of those cold weather places, whether it's the Bears or someone like that.
It was pretty cold in Carolina.
I'll take my chance.
It's going to be cold for Bryce Young, too.
Well, this is kind of a fun game. You can either take the free bye and say, we don't care about the Cardinals. We can beat the Cardinals with our backups and rest players that week and not care who you play, or try hard to get the preferred opponent.
Wouldn't you possibly face the Eagles the next week or the Bears? Or...
Yeah, you're just asking the question, do we care who we play?
I do. I do.
Yeah, I mean,
or can we sit Stafford and still beat the Cardinals with Jimmy Garoppolo?
I mean,
I would try it. I'm telling you.
Trey McBride.
I think it's just, all of these questions are, is the juice worth the squeeze? And I think getting a backup quarterback potentially ready to come in, I think that's worth it. Now,
maybe
is it
not
worth
tonight.
it to go all the way in and really 100% go out with Devontae Adams, who has a hamstring, and, Puka, who's been in and out with injury? I don't know if I would say that juice is worth the squeeze.
I think you play them tonight, you see what happens, and then you make a decision. Because the Cardinals, I mean, Marvin Harrison, he was just a complete nightmare for fantasy.
And they're the exact type of team.
They're 1-13 in their
They're
last
the exact
14.
type of team who would win this kind of game.
It's
a game
shootout.
That doesn't matter for them at all.
And will ruin their draft positioning.
Yeah.
It's Kyle, you're right in the story.
Yeah, so that's what's going on tonight. But we know the most important game already happened yesterday, and that was the Toilet Bowl.
Of course.
And the Raiders, they take care of business in the Toilet Bowl.
I guess win by losing.
Exactly. And, it got a little spot. Geno actually tried to look like a normal quarterback. We told him to stop that. So he ended up leaving, and Kenny Pickett took over. They lose to the Giants 34-10. So they've really... They really made it happen. And the Max Crosby thing, don't get me started on that. Max, go home and enjoy your money. Can we stop?
You see he was back in the facility today? Pete Carroll said, get
him out of here.
And now he's back.
I think Max Crosby is extremely talented.
He is.
That relationship has never made sense to me ever since the extension. You chase the bag. Okay, cool. This is what happens when you play for a bad team. They're going to try to not be bad anymore, and you don't have to like it, but these storylines of good for him, he should be mad. All right, but you know what that is? That also, this is worse to me than Kyle getting mad at Hoop Central. You know what it is? It's the end of the game.
Sounded like you were getting mad at Hoop Central.
No, I love Hoop Central.
Actually, no, it was
No, he was saying Hoop Central is like the
you were acting
New York
as if,
Times.
Yeah, you were like Hoop Central.
It's huge.
It's important.
It's huge for the brand.
I mean,
it's huge for the brand.
Come on.
But you got Max Crosby, right? Game's already over.
Yep.
And it's a very familiar place. And the quarterback is kneeling. You know what I mean? The quarterback and Max is the fake.
Yep.
That guy just never gives up, Bob. Right. Can we stop?
Yeah.
That's fake hustle.
Fake hustle.
Can we stop that?
Come on, yeah.
But
is that why Verlade was making fun of you?
Yeah, but that's where we're at right now.
That was about?
Yeah, Verlade was all mad because I said it's fake hustle.
Max Crosby.
You're him, Myles Garrett. I mean, Myles Garrett's putting up all the sack numbers, but you signed to a bad team, deal with it. Take your money and your basketball court with random ads and just go home. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You're on a bad team.
Just like number 11.
You had all season to play for something, and you didn't. So now you go home and enjoy your millions. Can you imagine that, Chris? Can you imagine Chris?
Go to Napa, make a wine, and just sit down and accept the fact you're losing.
That's right. Oh.
What?
That's not. But that's the other.
Is that somebody else's music I hear?
I think, that's why you want to tune in about 40 minutes.
We have the meat.
All right. Yeah. Real quick, this Raider thing, and this is why Dave needs to stay out of grown folks' business, okay? Because Dave
You've earned this, Raiders.
That's right. Dave,
that's right.
Stop that.
Yeah.
The Raiders, this is what Dave says. The Raiders are terrible. Big summer with that number 1 pick. They'd better in all caps, they'd better trade it and Max Crosby. So he's going back and forth with somebody, and he says, me personally, it's just so hit and miss. I'm not high on Mendoza, though I love him. I trade back, stock up. This is where he lost me. I trade back, stock up, and build those lines. Find your QB next year or in free agency. So this is how we kicked off the show. Find me the quarterback, since Dave wants to blow up the Kings, right? Yeah. But in the Raiders, who he's not a fan of, by the way, so stay out of grown folks' business. Right. But you want to go get a free agent quarterback to do what? Exactly.
I mean, who was the last guy? I mean, Kirk Cousins is like a great free agent quarterback.
Tom Brady doesn't even count.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is about to make the playoffs, maybe.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, limping,
it's like a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
And also,
Daniel Jones.
That's
what you're.
Yeah. Here are your free agent quarterbacks: Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota, Zach Wilson, Tyrod Taylor.
You can go get Malik Willis.
Yep, right. Malik Willis, Joe Flacco, Jimmy G reunion. Case Keenum, Mitch Trubisky, and the one that I'm rooting for, Trey Lance.
Like, to me, we've watched this. The Raiders, and I saw Jamarcus Russell doing an interview, but the Raiders have not been able to successfully tank for all these years, and they've missed. You have to get a quarterback and figure the rest out later. You go get the Heisman winning quarterback. You just do it. If you don't do, because here's my thing. If you don't do it, and Fernando is a hit wherever he ends up going, you look ridiculous. Nobody will blame you if you just get the quarterback and you miss.
Yeah.
They will blame, even if Dante Moore is better, which I'm not that high on Dante Moore, but even if you went with Dante Moore and you missed that way, it's been too long, and the Raiders have messed around time and time again. You get a quarterback. Just trading back and, get your quarterback next season. Dave, you don't even know who is available next season. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think that's where I will admit my ignorance and say, like, that would be my argument back, is just like, if you see that next year you just like the quarterback class better, that's the argument against taking a quarterback this year. Because I personally am not super high on Mendoza. I don't watch a ton of college football. It's more of just like, he doesn't seem to have the it factor to me. He seems like he honestly reeks Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he does.
And that's like, that is okay. Kirk Cousins, again, like, is a solid quarterback. But is that what you want for a number one? Like, I don't know. It's better than a bust. It's better than somebody who's not playing for you at all.
You need stability. Who do I trust? Right, and I don't know Dante Moore. I don't know him. But I know Vegas. And if there's one person that I trust in Vegas, it's Mommy.
Mommy Mendoza.
Mommy Mendoza. His mommy will be with him. And I need that. I need someone.
Mommy.
I need
crazy.
Mommy. I need Mommy. I need Mendoza. Bring your brother out there. Have him transfer to UNLV. Just go.
I mean, he does also reek, as I say, he reeks of Kirk Cousins. Like, he does reek of like somebody that Tom Brady would love too, right?
Yeah.
Because he is a dweeb. He is like somebody who's very.
I can't do Dante Moore. He's got a glove on.
Right.
I can't do the glove.
Yeah, I mean,
Mommy.
Emotionally, he reminds me a lot not of Derek Carr too, and I know Raider fans obviously love them some DC, and so
we did it. Let's not over. I'm not gonna let Dave overcomplicate this for the Raiders.
Mommy.
Just do it. Just do the thing, okay?
Yeah.
All right, we're way over time. On the other side, we got prop talk. We got a little bit of Kings talk as we take you up to 2 p.m. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 15th through 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Find a huge selection of fishing boats, kayaks, side-by-sides, and more than 50,000 square feet of RVs and campers. And check out Toyota's full lineup of trucks and SUVs. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 15th through 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. The winter months bring joy, but also with more rain and snow, unfortunately, more accidents. Over the last quarter century, thousands of Northern California residents have looked to Ashton & Price to be their root op with a law license to guide them through the storm of an injury claim. As always, we wish you and your family the safest and happiest of holidays. But if you need us, at Ashton & Price, we're here for you. So whether you've been naughty or nice, happiest holidays from Ashton & Price.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and price.
Coach Christie here letting you know the year-end sell-a-thon is on at Folsom Lake Ford. And with your approved credit, get 0% financing plus 0 down, plus no payments for 90 days on select new Fords. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford today. Interest accrues from date of purchase.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Live and local
It's Allen Stiles
on Sactown Sports.
$15 more minutes with you. It's going to be Chris, Ramsey coming up at 2, and we're going back and forth about what Dave said. I understand the thought process. I understand you build the line and things like that. It just comes down to how much do you like Fernando Mendoza? If you don't like him that much, then do that. But I'm taking my chances on the, and I hate to do the high character thing because I don't know this dude, but he seems like somebody that can handle Vegas. And we've seen there are a lot of players that can't handle Vegas. I think that matters. I would take the risk on him. And people say, man, the Raiders, how could you take Colin Cowherd, he said the Giants, if they had the number 1 pick, should trade Jackson Dart and go get Fernando Mendoza. Right. So that's how he feels about it. Not that Colin, is an expert or anything like that, but it just depends on who you ask and what you think that situation may be. Chris, I know it's a shorter show today, but you got Kings, you got Niners. What you got?
Definitely going to start with the Niners. I mean, it's pretty crazy that, and I guess I'll do a double tease here. Like last night I did something that I don't think I've ever done before. And, I kind of like opted to watch the Niner game over the Kings game.
Wow.
Honestly, I usually will have, Kings big TV and football is just kind of happening at a slower pace so you can have it on the tablet or computer or whatever. But yesterday just didn't feel appropriate.
Yeah,
right?
you text and you said it doesn't feel like anybody's watching the Kings game.
No, I mean, the Kings are 8-23 now. Hey, in LA, loses to the Lakers 8-24. I figured they did it for Kobe. Shout out. Really respect. And I think it just kind of overall felt like nobody cared. And I had the same feeling that, especially, someone who's watched thin years of Kings basketball, there was things to watch. There was things to be excited for. It was, hey, I'll watch this just to, we've talked about it before. I'll just watch to see player X and see how he does. That just wasn't there for me yesterday. And I felt no FOMO about watching the Niner game over it. And, I don't know. Like yesterday was just a really, really weird day in terms of that kind of watching experience. So definitely going to talk about that, and definitely have to start with the Niner game, especially with how crazy that was. And then also, as I was kind of looking over the stats over the weekend, realized Cooper Flagg kind of had a pretty great game on Saturday, and made me kind of do some deep dive. I always love when SportsCenter, like in the middle of their highlights, they're like, let's look back and kind of top 5 dunks that happened at Old Arco Arena or whatever. So I pulled up the most notable Sacramento debuts and thought it'd be fun to kind of go over that. Michael Jordan, what he did in his Sacramento debut, who was like the first big star to come to Sacramento when they came in 1985. It was the Patrick Ewing draft. So just kind of going through the numbers of classic Sacramento debuts and, just trying to keep it chill. It's the holidays.
There you go.
Not trying to get into too much.
No, I feel you on that. And
plus, I'll be here tomorrow on this program. So
that's right.
We can really flush it out for 4 hours.
Right. We're flip-flopped. Tomorrow I'll be on the afternoon show with Kayla Anderson, and you'll be on the morning show with our guy Kyle. Yeah, and to me, it's funny. We were talking about the big man, not the big man, but the the big guard versus the kind of point forward situation and why Trae Young, people aren't saying, we don't really need you to hunt for 11 assists a night right now, Trae. We don't really need that. Cooper, Kyle and I were kind of debating Cooper as a point guard. I guess that's just not just a bad title for it. It's just the LeBron thing. It's just the big dude that has the ball.
Point forward.
And I wonder, I've watched a little, I'm going to watch obviously more BYU, but I don't think they don't have either of those guys
has ever been said since Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah, seriously. But I don't think there's anybody like that as loaded as this draft is going to be. I know they say that Darren Peterson's 6'6". He don't look that to me, but I'm looking around thinking none of those three guys kind of fit that mold. If anybody, it's AJ, but I don't really see AJ handling the ball that much.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have to watch more BYU. I saw he just had a triple-double the other day, so definitely going to look into that.
Yeah, maybe
see how
he
that
is.
Looked.
Yeah, maybe
he got
he
to the
is.
free throw line a ton, so I just kind of want to see some of that. He's been the one that I have seen the most pop, I will say. Darren Peterson hasn't played as much, and when he was playing in the beginning of the season, there was a lot of talk about him just being head and shoulders above the other two guys, and Cam Boozer, I've really soured on. I mean, again, I haven't really watched him a ton, but he gives big Marvin Bagley vibes where he is dominating college basketball, and that's great for him. He's bigger. He's always been more developed than guys, but I just don't see the foot speed, and I don't really see what he's great at.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. By the way, something that nobody is really talking about, and I don't know why it would come up that much out here in Sacramento, but Tyler Shugg.
Yeah.
Turns out the Saints
won my
got
brother-in-law fantasy
right?
football championship the other day, dude.
Turns out he's actually good.
Oh, you're talking about the Shadur thing?
It's a little...
Yeah, kind of, but I mean, he's kind of cooking. I mean, Olave went crazy. What is it, Jawan Johnson?
It's giving Maxime right now.
Both of you. 2 peas in a pod. I can't wait for tomorrow's show. You guys are just going to bag on Maxime right now for 4 hours.
It's just like and when I say that, you know what? Here's another great tease. I am going to talk about the rookies and what I like and don't like about them at 3:00. So definitely.
And you're Mr. Cardwell guy.
The stocks.
I've got some good things to say about Dylan Cardwell.
This is so crazy to me.
It's more of just like
I can't believe you said that.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm not willing to make declarations based off of the situation.
Yeah, no, but I am. He is Zubac.
But like that,
like Zubac this year or like, Zubac last?
What does statistically? Sure, it can match Zubac, but like that doesn't mean they do the same thing functionally.
No, but yeah, because Maxime can shoot better.
But like Zubac sets much better screens, which is a very, very important thing for a center.
You can learn how to screen set.
I would hope so. I would really hope so. But Max is really bad at it. He's really bad at setting screens.
Think about the ceiling.
I hope he can figure it out. And obviously, it's a lot easier to figure out setting screens than hitting 30-foot jumpers. But there's definitely some things that I want to see before. And I'm talking Tyler Shuck, of course. There's just some things that I want to see before I'm willing to go out and make declarations about this guy being
mobile,
a future starter. Maybe, being any sort of buddy's future, I think is a bit excessive.
Would it go in the second round, third round?
Which one are we talking about?
Shug?
It's not Shug. Why are you saying it's like Shug Knight? What are you doing here? It's Shuck.
Shug.
Like a shucker.
Yes, you say it with like a K.
But it's a GH.
I believe it's Shuck.
Yeah, you pronounce it Shuck, but it's spelled with a GH.
Tyler Shug.
An oyster.
You're saying it like he's Shug Knight. What are you doing?
Now you're saying Shug and it's Shug. It's Shug Knight.
It's Shook?
No, it's Tyler Shuck. I can really fix this
Who's on first?
Situation. Exactly.
So it's Shuck and Raynaud.
No.
I'm just kidding. No, I'll never get that wrong. You two would get it wrong because you're a bunch of haters. That's what you are.
No.
That's yeah. Okay.
Also, by the way,
remember all of this.
Let me just also say to the point. If the Saints had the #1 pick, you trade Tyler Shuck and draft Fernando Mendoza. That's my Colin Cowherd thought on that.
Well, okay, but you wouldn't do that with Jackson Dart, or
I would also do that with Jackson Dart.
What direction does Tyler Mendoza
I like that player too.
You would love that.
Yeah.
What does Mendoza wear his hat? Which direction?
Oh, he's only wearing it.
It's got to be forward,
yeah,
right?
If he wears
hats, really push down.
Yeah, if he even wears hats.
Ultimate push down.
Look, man, I don't know what you guys are doing with this Maxime Raynaud thing. All I know is Hoop Central is telling me he's averaging 17 points per game.
The gospel according to Hoop Central.
10 rebounds a game. He's a double-double machine. He can stretch the floor.
That's right.
He's got great footwork. He's got a nice push shot.
All of it.
I mean, this is the future of the game right here, literally. So that's all I have to say on that one. How about Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy.
Top 5 quarterback?
Top 5 quarterback, easy. And the Dougie. Can we stop
Can
with
we
the
pick
Dougie?
one between Kyle Shanahan, Coach of the Year, and
No, they get
Brock
it all.
Purdy, MVP?
You get it all. Kyle, we still have to do prop talk.
Oh, man.
Do we want to do a quick prop talk?
Yes, we want to do a quick prop talk. I think it's going to be numbers galore in these Puka 108.5. Are you kidding me?
Yards? Wow.
Yes. I can't do that.
Yeah.
What's the Blake Corum one? I got Blake Corum last time. What's Blake Corum?
Yeah, you love Blake Corum.
He's good.
45.5.
Yeah, take the over on that.
Actually, yeah, Kylo Ren is at 65.5.
Now that I got Kirk Cousins rushing, should I retire that?
Yeah.
Half a rush yard?
Enough with
What
that.
do you think, Chris? You're the big Kirk Cousins guy. Do you think he can get half a rush yard?
I would think so. He's a big sneaker. He likes him a QB sneak.
No.
But it's tough when you have Bijan. I don't know. I'll take Bijan just rushing yards. I think it's 74.5.
Darnell Mooney. You said 74?
74.5 for Bijan. Yeah, give me that.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Darnell Mooney, 24.5. You know, I can never do the Rams because they just spawn new receivers and tight ends.
Yep.
You pick Colby Parkinson. Here's Terrence Ferguson and Davis Allen. Who? And then Mumpfield just popped out of nowhere. What happened to Tutu?
I was going to say Tutu.
What happened to Tutu?
There was also someone doing the X, like I think it was Xavier Smith or something. Who's that?
Xavier Smith, 12.5. Kylo Ren, 11.5.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling on one of these teams. He has to be, right?
No, where is he?
Last I saw, he was
on the Steelers.
Yes.
Is he really?
Yeah.
But he was also on Buffalo and the Niners.
I got an easy one, Kyle and Chris. 51.5, Kyle Pitts. I just think he's the safety for Kirk Cousins, and
Who knows how healthy Drake London is?
Yeah, he's another guy. He's in, he's out, he's all about. All right. Thank you to all the callers, texters, sack chatters. Thank you to Kyle. Great job as always. We have Chris Watkins coming up next on The Drive, guys, along with Ramsey. We'll talk to you tomorrow. So tomorrow, secure the bag, like the beat.
Quality products and next day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.